Hello and welcome, my beautiful movie peeps, to another 3C Friday live stream. Whoop, whoop, whoop. It's gonna be a depressing one. It's not gonna be a good one. It might end up being the best live stream I've ever done. There is a 1% chance that could be a possibility, but we are going in no plan, no idea, nothing to talk about, and let's just hope we fill the time for 2 to 3 hours and you have a little fun in your day. I want to thank everybody here who decided to click on and be here. Woo, yes, yes, yes. Sorry, Unk is here. Unk is here. Oh, I said no, but I'm still under 30. Plenty of years left. I could change my mind anytime. One good photo of Jake Gyllenhaal and ask me again, buddy. Daddy Unk, 3 hour goons. God, here we are. Here we are. Okay, so what actually is the plan for today? Being honest with you, it was one of those Fridays where there really wasn't enough topics for really to make a compelling title, a nice thumbnail. There are a few things going about that we can talk about. There's some Daredevil season 3 photos going on. We'll touch upon that. A lot of you on the chat beforehand wanted my thoughts on the recent Invincible episode. For sure want to give you my thoughts and spill my guts on how I felt of that one. Yeah. You'll see what I mean by that. Other than that, it really is going to be up to you guys. I'm not just going to go straight into the questions. I'm going to let the regular chat kind of dictate and see if it can get me off on a tangent. In a movie tangent, I still want to keep it movie, TV show stuff related. If you got a current news story going around you'd like me to talk about, maybe we can turn it into a segment, because, hey, that Clips channel still needs content. And so I'm leaving it up to you, buddy, to fill it out. All right. Now, there was a reason I was a couple minutes late on the stream than what I had said, and because there is a story I want to tell you guys that happened to me this past weekend. A story of highs, lows, falls, and of a majestic hero that we definitely need to honor in the 3C Live. That's right. Okay, so as you guys are getting readied up, the rest of y'all are coming in, thinking of your questions. I'm gonna go into telling you a story, okay? So, let me see how I could pull this up to do it right. Okay, give me 1 second. I gotta make sure all this is correct, because if not, it'll spoil the way I want this story set up. Okay. Okay, well, some of these are gonna have to be in solo videos. That will mess it up. Okay. All right, then I guess we'll pop out the videos when we get a chance. But all right, let's begin this story. And I want you guys to remember the person you were before you heard this story and the person you'll be afterwards, okay? It's life-changing stuff here. So let's begin, and let me tell you the story of Alfred the Bird. Alfred the Bird is one... I don't even know where to begin with Alfred the Bird. He was something of a hero. He changed my life in a way, if I'm being honest with you. And I got the pleasure of meeting Alfred the Bird last Sunday. How I came to meet Alfred the Bird, though, was kind of a very different situation. So, you guys know I recently became a father, so a lot of the weekends I spend with my kid, with my family, just enjoying life, trying to learn how to be a better dad. And, well, here, let me show you a day in my life of what that kind of looks like and how I encountered Alfred the Bird. Okay, so this is all real. Maybe watch out for your audio. Gets a little loud. So this is me in my home with a Ring camera. You just gotta have it sometimes. Sometimes it's mainly for the dogs. I always see videos on TikTok where they're like, why is there a camera in your house? What are you, some kind of pervert? We got dogs. Every now and then, out of the 4 dogs, one of them will leave an accident. I want to know which one to spank and yell at and push him, going, this was you? Was this you? Or other things sometimes happen. It's always good to have the footage. I've used it to win arguments with my lady. She's like, did you leave that water bottle there? Let's go to the footage. It was your mother when she visited. Now call her and yell at her like you were about to do to me. No, actually, we've never had. That's actually in my imagination, because I usually am leaving the water bottles out. Either way, back to the story at hand. This is what happened this faithful last Sunday. Just put my baby boy down. Let's get a replay on that. That's how our story begins with Alfred the bird. I just finished changing my little boy's diaper. My lady went to the grocery store to run a few errands and grab stuff that we will need. Look at how little and precious he is. And yes, I am watching Papa Meat, okay? I love me a good Papa Meat video. They're kind of fun sometimes, well edited. If anything, I would love to do what Papa Meat does, movie fight on my channel. Maybe an Easter egg for what's to come. I always say I'll do it, but I never do it. Either way, I always make sure his head is turned. He is not Papa Meat age. He does not know these Papa Meat jokes yet. Either way, when I heard that, oh. Look at the flinch I did. I just thought I got shot from the back. Look at this. Oh. Is that a good reflex time? Is that a good, like, quick? Okay, things running through my mind as this happened. A bird was like top 3. First 2 things, I thought a kid threw a ball at my window. We have the neighborhood, kids are running around all the time playing. It's unusual that a ball would land or even hit one of my windows, but I thought maybe it could happen. And so that's the first thought. I thought a kid just threw a ball, hit my window, and I'm like, oh dang, what the heck? Second, I thought it was my lady playing a joke. I thought she ran around the back and was like, while you're holding my son. Okay, wasn't that. Third thought was that a freaking bird? No way that was a bird. That could not have been a bird. So I look through my windows. I walk around my home a little bit, and I don't see anything. And then I decide, was like, well, if it was a bird, it had to have hit. It had to have fallen. It must be somewhere. And I have lawn chairs. I have a little lounging area outside. I'm like, it's got to be somewhere out there. And if it is a bird, I cannot let my dogs come out with me because they will bite. I've had it before in the past. One of my dogs have come up to the window and they had a bird in their mouth. And I'm like, oh, I get this as a reward and your sign of loving me, but get that out of your mouth. So I was like, I have to go alone. I have to investigate. Maybe it could still be out there, right? Okay, that brings us in to the next video. Okay, you're not going to see much in this one, but you will definitely want your headphones turned up a bit. You will definitely want to pay attention to the sounds here because I have gone out and investigated. I'm already off camera. I'm outside looking underneath my grill outside, looking underneath the little chairs and stuff I have. You tell me if you think I found it. Did you catch that? Did your audio get it? And let me know. All right, let's one more time. Tell me if you think I found it. I walk out and I'm looking, but I'm looking cautiously because I don't know what it could be. I don't know what kind of bird it is, what's going on, right? So I look and the thing, I guess, spotted me or sensed me. And as I look under a lawn chair, it starts flapping and trying to fly away. And it scares the crap out of me to where I audibly, ah! A grown man just yelling in his backyard. Again, it's subtle. Headphones up. I'll stay quiet. Tell me if you hear it. I love that the inside camera in my house, through the windows, the glass, the TV being on, you can just hear my manly. Now this is gonna be harder, but if you're watching on an iPhone or something, look at the fridge. You could see my frantic movement through the fridge glare there. Me backing away crazy. It was bad. It was bad. So I had found Polly, or what we name him, Alfred. We had found Alfred, and he was in bad shape. Like I said, he was just. You heard how hard that hit, dude. That could have been misconstrued as a gunshot with how hard that hit my window. He was pretty badly, and I just saw him flap, and I'm like, okay, he's flapping. He must be able to fly away. I'm going back inside, and that's probably the last I will see of Alfred the bird, right? But it wasn't. For the next like I don't know, like 6 hours, he was still outside of in my patio. And he was just chilling. He was not flying away. He was just there, sitting down, regular pigeon, just enjoying life. I wouldn't even be able to tell he got severely hit. And eventually, because I got to let my dogs out, I got to let them do their business. He decided to hide in the corner behind a plant, and he just decided to sit and chill there. And so when I would go out with the dogs, I'd stand next to Alfred. I'd get to know him. I learned a lot about him, you know. He worked 3 jobs to take his third son to college. The first 2 became crackheads, so obviously they weren't going to go to college. And I felt bad for him. His wife was just unattentive and didn't really pay attention to him. Oddly enough, great bedroom life though. Alfred was very vocal about all that. Um, and well, he was just there, and I wouldn't have known anything. And I was like, do I have to eventually grab Alfred and toss him, grab him and throw him out into the world, and tell him you can do this. You might have got badly hit, bro, but you could still do it, right? So we come to our final video in the Alfred saga. I don't know if I say trigger warning, but it was not a pleasant video. There's a couple things I'm gonna say after the video, but I think it's best if we just watch the video and let it play out, and then we will come to terms with everything within this story. All right, let's do it. Alfred walked to the edge of my yard. He tried flying.
The ground? Oh,
yeah.
I think, oh man, look at it. Poor birdie.
Why, Alfred? Why did you fly into my window and die in my backyard? It was honestly a very sad sight. I had faith. I actually was at the window watching him walk to the edge of the lawn, getting clear airspace. I was about to go out there with my Bowser Jr. brush and just air him away, going, traffic him. He's like, breaker 429, air flight 3 is about to take off. Make room in the runway. You got it, Alfred. It was nice having you here, but you got to go. And he jumped and he fell, and then he didn't move again. Another thing you'll notice, I was too chicken to pick up the bird. Luckily, I had company over. This is my wife's cousin, Axel, really great guy, fun guy, and more of a man than me, because when I was like, I gotta get that bird out, because again, he's just dead on my lawn. I got 4 dogs. One of them sees a dead bird body, they're gonna get to munching. I can't have them having Alfred soup. So I was like, hey, you mind putting these gloves on and putting them in a box? And he was like, yeah, sure. I couldn't even do it myself, but it wasn't out of fear. It wasn't out of being scared. No, Alfred and I had just grown that close. I couldn't bear to hold his lifeless body. And man, was it lifeless. I thought he was going to be stiff or something. You look at that neck. The other crazy thing is, look at his eyes. His eyes went blue. Man, I felt so bad, dude. It took 7 hours after a bird got hit through that window for him just to die. I felt so bad, man. And I don't know which one of my friends said this at the end. Polly want a cracker. How insensitive. How rude of that person. Huh. So, R.I.P. Alfred. You will be missed. I just can't believe that happened. That was the most exciting thing to happen to me in a long time. Birth of my child, yes. Alfred entering my life. An equal close, guys. An equal close. Thank you all for being here. May you fly in the heavens ever so, Alfred. Okay. Where even were we now? Thank you guys for bearing with me. Good warm-up story, right? Good warm-up story. All right. Some of you guys want to talk about that Invincible. Let's see if on YouTube we can watch some clips of that thing, because I got some thoughts. All right, so Invincible. We just had season 4. Season 4 is currently going on. First 3 episodes, really good, really awesome. I thought they were doing a good job with it. Then we had episode 4, where I talked about it last week. I really went on. I was just not into that episode at all, man. Like, I'm glad some people liked it. Some thought it was cool. I was kind of into, their explanation of how hell works in the Invincible world. But man, this demon and the way he talks and just the limited animation, it was just a snooze of an episode, dude. Well, episode 5 definitely made up for it, and we got some of the coolest things that went down. Okay. Let's begin slow and start hard, right? Let's talk about this. We finally got the reunion of Debbie and Omni-Man. Okay, I had been waiting for this. I wanted to see how that would go down, what was going on. And dude, Omni-Man, I don't know who he is, but it's just like you can't make up after everything. I know he wants to be good, that maybe he's changed. That you are not going to be friends with anybody again on Earth, man. I don't blame anybody for the way they treated you. And I felt really bad for Debbie in this scene. I thought the way she even punched him and started bleeding, she's like, it was worth it. Oh, how you going to break Debbie like that? I'm glad she's getting cracked by her coworker boss. Yeah. That was a crazy scene. It went on slightly longer than I thought it would, but it was still a really powerful scene. And you know what was equally as powerful in that moment? I don't know if I'm gonna find a clip of it, but when Omni-Man goes to visit the guy who makes all the suits, that was such a good scene too. He's over there thinking he was hoping to get a new suit, because the thing guy was wearing, I'm like, dude, can we get him out of that? His feet are all the way out, and every time I'm up in my screen, just a TV. It's just animated. We got to cover them up. Okay? Can't control myself. But it was such a good scene, because they're having beers, they're just talking, exchanging words, having a good time. Then I love the way it ends with him mentioning, paying off his account, and he's like, I closed your account. I only make suits for heroes. And when Omni-Man flies away, and then you see him sigh of relief and all the tension in his body gone, just, oh, good stuff. Good. You could, so the whole time guy was clenched. Not a fart was let out during that entire time. That's how tense that guy was. Oh, I felt so bad. It was good. But all right, let's get into that big brawl. Okay, now, again, I know there's the comic readers and all that stuff, and they'll be the ones to point out, but there have been some changes, so let's start off with that. They have this new character that they introduced us to, Tech Jacket. Now, if we actually go to what is it Tech Jacket? Yeah, Tech Jacket in the comics looks like, I mean, it's a dude, and it actually has a badass looking suit, and it's almost Mark, almost looks like Mark. And that led to one of the reasons they changed it. Now, some people are speculating there could be other reasons. I actually tend to believe them. The creators of the show, and I think even Robert Kirkman said, when looking at the material and what they're doing with the anime, they just really felt this was a Mark Jr. situation, that the character really wasn't that different from Mark, and it was just someone that they felt they had to change. Other people, since they kind of hint towards a little bit of a love thing with Oliver, and later on in the comics, Oliver's love interest, it ain't human, we'll just say that, right? And they thought maybe they just don't want to go that route with the animated series, so they're setting up this character to do that with Oliver. Maybe, maybe not. I don't care about the gender swap at all. You know me. I never care about that. But dang, was I watching this episode going, why did we bring her? What is she offering? The whole past couple episodes, they've I don't know, why can't I say Omni-Man's real name? Chat, let me know Omni-Man's real name because it's escaping my mind right now. But Omni-Man and Alan, they've been searching for all these Viltrumite weaknesses, right? Whether it's guns or these dinosaur things on other Nolan, thank you. That's the name of my little puppy. How could I forget that? Nolan. Uh they've been searching for these things that could hurt Viltrumites, and one of them is supposed to be Tech Jacket. She's supposed to be strong enough to take on Viltrumites. Did not get that impression at all during the fight. Whole time in space, I felt she was struggling. I felt she wasn't doing much, and I just kept thinking to myself, why did we bring her? What did she offer? She's a fun character. She enjoyable, has a preppy little attitude, cool, but it did not feel like she was needed on the team. That's all I'm saying. I hopefully next couple episodes, and especially knowing how how the Tech Jacket powers look in the comics, bro, with the animation budget Invincible has, we're never getting something like this. Like, let's see if we can get Tech Jacket versus Viltrumites, because that thing was looking crazy in the comic panels here. Okay, looking at this, look at these. So he's almost like the T-1000, where he could just liquid metal, or almost like a Blue Beetle. I feel like he's like a Blue Beetle type of parody, where he could just make all this random stuff out of his suit. We didn't get none of that. They turned into a pod, and that's it. And they gave him a big old forehead too. All right. Hopefully there's more with them later on and they do cooler things. But that was one of the parts where I was like, okay, whatever. Then we get on to the rematch between Mark and Conquest, dude. Oh, I'm so alone. Oh, dude. I'll never forget that, dude. That was a crazy scene. Okay, this was a crazy rematch. One thing that did piss me off about it, other than the Tech Jacket thing, why did Nolan also feel useless in the battle? Why did Nolan, you know, watching Mark fight Conquest, you feel how strong Conquest is. You see how big of a threat he is. And you think to yourself, I wonder if Nolan was still a good guy, if he was still on Earth, would he have struggled as much as Mark? And I thought maybe that would be what would get it. Every time Mark was in trouble with Conquest, fighting him in space, I'm like, oh, Omni-Man's going to show up, Nolan's going to show up, and he's going to take care of him. Guy was nowhere to be seen. I don't know why. He was just constantly looking for Mark, but whatever. It had to be that way to get us to this fight. And oh, dude, just this shot alone, such a gorgeous shot. What a banger right there. And okay, then we get to the scene where Mark catches Conquest, and I got some gripes a little bit with the ending of this fight, but he's got him. He chokes him out. Supposedly, people are saying Conquest at this point has already exhaled, so he already went. Okay, and so he's got no more air left in his body, because people have brought up how Viltrumites can hold their breath in space for so long, they can withstand that. So like he should be okay for so long, but at this point he's already exhaled. So Mark is just choking the heck, and Mark does not let go. And I thought the whole time, I'm just in my seat at home, just like fully sitting up going, don't let go, don't let go, come on, you've gotten this far. And he's just pounding them, destroying his ribs, his arms, all that. It was crazy. I mean, Mark at one point even bites off one of his fingers, and just seeing his face turn blue and his eyes shutter red, all great. Okay, then we get to the ending of this, which let's just look it up, guys. So it's say let's just let's just get to it, man. Someone has had to have put it up here. This thing. Okay. We get towards the end of this battle. And I didn't know this was coming up. I know there's people who read ahead and know what's coming up. At this point, so deep in, I just want to see it and be surprised. So I had no idea any of this was coming, right? And what we had was Conquest has just somehow, with these Viltrumite hands, just a hole right in Mark's tummy. And dude, when I went, oh, what? That was insane that happened. And I'm it also makes me wonder, can Mark do that too? Why isn't that the first move? Why is it squeezing the neck? Why can't it just be like doing that move in his eyeball or in his butthole? At least you already have an entryway, right? Let's Ant-Man Thanos this, right? And dude, at this point, I was like, Mark's gonna have to let go. How do you not let go at that point with everything that's going on? Because Conquest, this evil, mischievous dude, just starts ranking out the guts, dude. And oh, I'm sitting, my stomach was turning, going wheezy. And they held on to this shot for like what felt like 5 minutes. Look at this. I'm jumping a whole minute, and Conquest is still messing with Mark's guts like it's spaghetti, and he's not hungry anymore. But mom made the spaghetti, and she will yell at you if you're not eating. So maybe if you just swash it around your bowl, you're safe. You're all right. And that's what Conquest was doing, messing with Mark's guts like spaghetti, dude. Oh, at a certain point, though, chat, hear me out. At a certain point, chat, do you think this feels kind of good? Now, hear me out. At a certain point, once you get past the blackout pain, the weird feeling, at a certain point, do you think that feels kind of nice? Do you think that, like, maybe, I don't know. I liken it to maybe like when you had to go poo-pooey very bad and you finish and you're just like, ah. Do you think it would feel the same? Do you think it's like that kind of relief after a while? Just like, oh, okay, well, oh, that's not bad. Hey, somebody said it. Probably. Hey, I'm just saying, I think at some point it might, right? Okay. All good though, because Mark wins and dude dies. Okay. Great fight, loved it. I thought it was awesome. Now, because the show is called Invincible, I'm assuming Invincible is gonna survive this somehow. Dude got everything knocked out of him. I assume he survives. But dude, also just seeing how much Viltrumites can survive things with like Conquest was basically mush too, right? And Cecil rebuilt him, and dude, I cannot wait till Mark sees Cecil again. He's gonna hit him with that. I ran into somebody today, Cecil. You never guess who I saw today, Cecil. Cecil, funny thing. Conquest. Bro, that's gonna be crazy. But it's like, okay, Conquest survived that. Mark is gonna survive this. Who knows the recovery time? Isn't there a part of you that thinks, well, then no way this is how they kill Conquest? A little squeeze to the neck and no air? Look at what you just did to Mark, and he's gonna survive? Again, I don't know. Does Conquest come back for a third time in the comics? Maybe he does, maybe he doesn't. But I thought that for a second where I was like, after everything, Conquest has to kind of survive that a little bit. So, yeah, it was crazy, guys. Good episode, awesome. I can't wait to see it continue on. Those were just some of my thoughts with Invincible. All right. Some people want me to talk about Daredevil season 2. Okay, we'll talk about season 2, the most recent episode, and then we're gonna go into the season 3 photos. But I'll give you a spoiler warning because the season 3 set photos look to spoil some stuff happening, or that were gonna be happening in the next season. Okay, let's talk about Daredevil. So episode 3 was one of the best episodes of this season. I think 4 will be another continuation of that high. And then for me, because if you've watched my review, because I got to see all the episodes, for me, episode 5 and down is where I think it loses steam and it became underwhelming. But hey, I might end up in the minority because I'm just seeing people eat up this season a lot more than I did. I mean, I like the first couple episodes, but I'm not loving them like a whole bunch of people. Episode 3 was definitely that first episode when I watched it where I was like, dude, this was awesome. Just um Daredevil going in and finally freeing the people from the cages, because that's what I had been wondering the whole time. I'm like, how did Punisher escape the cages and left all those people behind? I was like, really? Where were they at? And it's like, okay, Daredevil goes in, is letting them out, and it feels satisfying, especially because they're ruining the plans of the anti-vigilante task force. And bro, I just hate the task force. I am so sick of this plot line and those characters. I want them gone. But I mean, I guess that's in a good way, right? Because they've made villainous characters that you don't like, and that's a good thing. And I feel strong hatred towards them. And so it was good to see Daredevil and Karen put those plans to an end. And episode 4's got some fun stuff. It's going to open with a really fun bullseye sequence that people are also going to love as much as the one are in here. Uh, then it becomes, I guess it's a little more focused on bullseye throughout the episode. It's a good one. I think we finally get the boxing match with Kingpin. There's some interesting stuff there. And then to me, those were the high points. Everything else, I wasn't that crazy about. But then again, it was just me. Other people went crazy for it. We'll see how we feel. But one thing going on right now in the interwebs is there is some Daredevil season 3 photos going on right now. This is where I guess I will say spoiler warning for Daredevil season 3. I don't well, it's the Spider-Man trailer also already kind of spoiled something that we're going to kind of talk about here with the mayor situation, because the Spider-Man trailer showed Spider-Man talking to a completely different mayor. And it's like, oh, we know the show takes place after, so I won't go into huge details, but we'll just go into these photos. All right, so while filming Daredevil season 3, we got Kristen Ritter, Mike Coulter, and Finn Jones all back. All the Defenders looking to be coming back and getting part of Daredevil season 3. Oh, okay. Um, this is cool. This is interesting. I like the idea of all this. Again, I was never somebody so crazy about the Defenders. If anything, the only other Defender I truly get hyped about is just Luke Cage. I just like the Luke Cage character a lot, and I think his powers are cool, just this bulletproof skin. I do think Marvel definitely needs to lean on the heroes for hire idea, where it's a Luke Cage and Iron Fist, where they just kind of open up their own little private shop and random people who need help, almost like the A Team or something. And then every episode is them just solving or fighting a little crime, helping the little person out there. I think that would be a lot of fun. But yeah, they're gonna get involved, so it's gonna be a lot more centered on them. Um, I will say this. I wish they came in sooner. I honestly wish these characters, because we know Kristen Ritter is part of season 2. She's in the trailers, and she'll be coming later in the season. And I've also mentioned she doesn't have the biggest part. She has about as much screen time as Frank Castle from the last season of Born Again. But man, that I guess is one of the disappointments with season 2, and the thing that left me underwhelmed. Uh, because again, with this anti-vigilante task force and season 2 doing the Daredevil was it Rain storyline, where in the comics again Fisk puts out this anti-vigilantes like and all that. It was just a lot more impactful because you had people like Spider-Man, Iron Man, Captain America, all these getting outlawed, right? And season 2, it's just amounting to the Swordsman. The Swordsman is like the only hero that no Spider-Man getting arrested, no Luke Cage or Iron Fist or even Jessica Jones. Is just Iron Fist. Oh, not even Iron. It's sword guy who doesn't even really have superpowers, but is just really good with swords. Huh. Okay, so it feels wasted to me in that aspect. So I'm curious what their involvement next season is, because again, in these other set photos that we're getting for Daredevil, which I'll bring up. Daredevil. Uh so here we got again Mike Coulter. Finn Jones, curious, especially with that Marvel money, dude. I can't wait to see what or how they kind of boost them up a little bit. Um, okay, here we go. In front of the, I guess, city council, New York City, today and tomorrow, our mayor, Sheila Rivera, who we also saw in the Spider-Man Brand New Day trailer, handing the key to the city to Spider-Man. So, okay, there's that right there. So, if Sheila Rivera is handing the key to the city to Spider-Man, key to city. Well, then I think that should tell you right there. That's they probably did this not even because of Spider-Man, but to show that this new era of politicians isn't on the side of the anti-vigilante task force. To be like, oh, previous mayor that, had this whole team trying to arrest superheroes. No, we give keys to superheroes here in this one. So it's like already there. So I don't even know in season 3 what their involvement would be or how they're being used or what's going on or if there's another threat that needs all four of them, Avengers style in New York. Okay, cuz again, they're not being targeted by the anti-vigilante task force. Looks like they don't exist at this point. Could be interesting. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Like I said, even with some of the things I felt underwhelming this season, the way it ends and the stuff that they set up for season 3, which I'm dancing around because I can't use that as context because it'll be spoilers for you guys. I do want to know how season 3 goes, and I'm excited, especially if all the defenders are involved. I just still don't know the exact capacity of how they're involved. But exciting stuff, definitely exciting stuff. The hand most likely, maybe. Who knows? Who knows? All right. More topics. What other things you got going on? Let me actually just look through the let me look like through discussing films. If there's anything that happened that I can talk about with recent current events. Okay, so there was this that was going on. Spaceballs 2 will release on April 2, 2027. Okay, cool. So they got a release date now. Awesome. Can't wait. The era of parody movies is going strong. Naked Gun was awesome. Scary Movie 6 looks fun. We got Spaceballs 2, and I believe there's one more parody movie in the works, but I forget which one it is. James Marsden says Ian McKellen did some of his own stunts for Avengers Doomsday. He was pushing his stunt double aside, going, "Let me try." That's our Magneto. That's our Magneto. Begonia. The Super Mario Bros. Stuff is crazy. You know what? This is a small topic I want to get into. I won't spend too long on this. Bro, the marketing for the Michael Jackson movie? Disappointing. I am actually starting to get fearful about my predictions with this movie, where I said this could be a $2 billion hit. I'm still thinking $1 billion easily. But bro, this movie comes out in like what, 3 weeks? And the marketing has been like silent. I know they got like a trailer release. They put out this clip that honestly is okay. Uh I will start to agree with people, and I did feel this way when the first trailer came out. The movie looks shot so average. Um, and I don't mean that in a bad way. Like, it still looks good and like it's gonna have some good sequences. But man, for the movie that was gonna be about Michael Jackson, I don't know. I was kind of expecting something out there. I was expecting almost like the Scott Pilgrim of biopics in a way, where it's just really out there, stylized in your face, and it looks kind of shot almost very traditionally. But again, going back to the marketing of this, it's like funny enough, I think Marty Supreme had a better marketing campaign than Michael Jackson. Like Marty Supreme was doing all sorts of crazy stuff with the blimps and the Vegas ball and the jackets. Michael Jackson, dude's biggest pops. I think they're saving their money on this movies on the marketing because they still want to make that second movie. As you guys know, this is only half the story. The movie's supposed to end like right before they get to all the allegations and the late '90s stuff with Michael Jackson. And their hope is to, make a second movie. But just really weird that like for a film that I'm like, this should be explosive, because also they had it that like the marketing would be huge. Let me see if I can find that article. Maybe not. There was like an article months ago that like see from back in October 2024. It said here, Lionsgate and Universal are expecting the Michael Jackson biopic, to be a multi-billion-dollar film. According to the press release, the film will have a huge marketing campaign with unprecedented promotion and investments. Where that? Where that at? Where is it? There is no big. It's really not doing anything. But yeah, just kind of interesting. Wondering what you guys think, or why you feel like maybe they're just not going as huge. They just, because I still don't think it'll hurt it too much, but it's like this movie should be marketed a lot more than it actually is. Just putting out a trailer and a clip online almost does nothing. You got to get more creative. You got to do more fun stuff, and just doesn't feel like they're doing exactly that. So just interesting. Just thought I'd bring it up. All right. Uh, Guarantee they think Michael's name alone is going to be people buying tickets. At least that's the only thing I can. Yeah, I mean, honestly, and it's still going to. It's going to carry big. I mean, the tracking on it is already pretty strong. I thought it would honestly be stronger, because I think it's tracking with like a $55 million opening. Honestly, a Michael Jackson movie I thought would be like $100 million weekend in just the U.S. But and if they could have done that, they had the marketing. But who knows, you know? The Batman Part 2. I think, oh, there is a crazy update with the Batman Part 2. Okay, let's get into that. All right, so as you guys know, we just talked about the Batman Part 2 recently, because Robert Pattinson was doing a bunch of press for the movie The Drama. And in one of the interviews, he said, "Oh, we have like a week left of press, and then I go do Batman stuff." Excuse me. And so, oh, we're like, oh, that doesn't mean he's going to start filming as Batman, but I mean, doing prep work, maybe trying on the new suit if they got a new suit coming out, doing a table read together as a cast. I don't know, flying out to the set, whatnot. Either way, it is Batman stuff, and that means things involving Batman are going to come soon. Well, one of them basically confirms, I think, what the villain is going to be for this movie, because here we have it. The Batman Part 2 villain may have been revealed in movie's working title. Now, as you guys know, movies nowadays go under a working title. It's not necessarily going to be the title for the movie, but it's just like the secret title, so that they could work under and do stuff without people going too crazy. They used to work a lot, but now when you have articles telling you what the working title is, I don't know how good they work now in that aspect. But okay, here we have it. According to a production listing, the Batman 2 has a working title of Semper Vigilians? Semper Vigilians. Semper Vigilians. This is a Latin phrase that translates to something along the lines of always vigilant or ever watching in English. While this could just be a phrase used to describe Batman himself, some think it's a reference to the Court of Owls. The reason being is the Court of Owls in the comics have a bit of a slogan, you know, great for a secret organization. Just like when people said Nickelodeon and the Epstein Islands was done on purpose. That's what evil organizations love to do, is they like to be secretive, but they like to leave behind clues for you to find, buddy. Where they have it here, the Court of Owls. Beware the Court of Owls that watches all the time, ruling Gotham from a shadowed perch behind granite and lime. They watch you at your hearth. They watch you in your bed. Speak not a whispered word of them, or they'll send the Talon for your head. So again, with this Latin phrase, always vigilant, ever watching, the matching kind of the slogan for the Court of Owls, I'm thinking it's going to be that then. Court of Owls is going to be the villains for the Batman Part 2. Again, shouldn't be that huge a surprise when we saw that they were trying to make Harvey Dent's family a large part of this movie with his father. We saw they went through like a bunch of A-list cast members, Liam Neeson, Daniel Craig, Brad Pitt, and all of them turned them down. I don't know who eventually got the role, but to play Christopher Dent, and then Scarlett Johansson, who's going to play Harvey Dent's wife. I feel like it's going to be a huge part of it. And Batman is going to discover this hidden society that maybe his parents were involved, or maybe they weren't. Maybe they got offered to be part of the Court of Owls, and when they said no, they ruined their lives. They sent his mom to an asylum, because we know that's part of this Batman's backstory, and his dad got shot. Well, they both got shot, but you know what I mean. Um, so let me see what else. I think there was other things here. Alfred's emotional Batman 2 story returns, filming timeline tease. I think Andy Serkis gave a small description of the script. Let's see here. By the end of the year, I will be. So yeah, again, Alfred will probably have a small role in the movie. Here we go. Says Andy Serkis. I obviously can't say too much about the film, other than that I am really excited about going back into the world and working with Matt Reeves again, and who I've now worked with a number of times. And he's a dear friend and Rob. And the script and the story and the new story really does speak to Matt as a human being and what he feels about life. Rob and he got on brilliantly, and I can't say any more than that. But yeah, the relationship continues to be one very close, slightly at odds, but a beautiful relationship. Oh yeah, I can't wait. And he also was said it's a very emotional film. That sounds good. Who knows if they kill Alfred, man? They try to bait us that Alfred was gonna die in that first one. No way they bait us again. So either Alfred does die or not. And at this point, with how little Andy Serkis has time to be in the movies, Matt Reeves might be like, "You're dying, dude." He, Alfred, you're dying like the bird, Alfred, the famous 3C bird. You don't watch 3C? That's my impression of Matt Reeves talking to Andy Serkis about Alfred the bird. Matt Reeves is watching. I can feel it. I gave him ideas. I know it. So yeah, that's awesome. Let me look up any last minute things about the Batman before we close out this part of the segment. Andy Serkis, incredible. More Batman news. And Serkis just says it's good. It's incredible. We got this one here that the costume designer of the Batman suit is coming back for the Batman Part 2. That's awesome. I can't wait to see how they upgrade this. I still love it. Took some getting used to for sure. I remember when I first saw it, I was like, huh, okay. But I ended up loving this suit, and now I can't wait to see how they upgrade it, what they tweak. Will it be just as detailed, less detailed, any color scheme changes? Um, yeah, that's gonna be awesome. And the script is definitely looking to be done. So yeah. I can't wait. I can't wait. That was a good subject. Thank you guys for bringing that one up. Let me see what else we got going on in the movie world. Movie news. What are some of the movie news accounts that we can look up? Just Sonic stuff? What? Okay. Cosmic Marvel. Dr. Doom Richards will reportedly build special cannons on every Earth to stop the. Oh my goodness. Is that real? That sounds just like the plot of Fantastic Four, but instead of all over one planet, they do it on other planets? Huh. Okay. We'll see if that ends up becoming true. Charlie Cox, Eddie Murphy, happy birthday. Oh, yes, we could talk about this. Animorphs. Animorphs is getting a show. I was trying to do some Animorphs research. This stuff goes crazy. Okay, so maybe a lot of you, or who knows, is like, do you guys even run into these books anymore in school? Do they still take you to a library at school? Are these the things you see on the shelf? Well, when I was a kid, there's always book covers that I will remember and feel nostalgic towards, even though I never even opened some of these books. But there's the Goosebumps books where, yeah, I would open a couple of those. But those covers were awesome. Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. That was obviously a book. And the Animorph books, which I never opened or cared to because I didn't get that interested past the cover of bro turning into a horse. And I thought that's all it was because we had like 30 Animorph books in my library, and I was like, these must be like the what are those? There was like a book series where it's like, my janitor might be Santa Claus. I think my teacher is Dracula. What was that series called? If you guys could remember that series, but it was a book series where like every book was just that was, I think my mailman might be Frankenstein. Well, it wasn't Goosebumps. It was something else. I forgot what those were. You guys will let me know. The Zack Files? Is that really what it was called? Spirit. Anyways, um, I gotta look it up now. What was that book series called? Books where what were the Backrooms books? I hate y'all. None of y'all know the Chris Files. Something Club. Yeah, was it the book where janitor is Santa Claus or something? Here they are. I think we found it. Oh, I was close. I do see the Barely School Kids. This was a crazy. That's all it was. Is every book was like, I think that fat guy might be Santa Claus. Oh, I think I'm gonna sit on the janitor's lap. Don't tell my mother. Okay, weird sidetrack. But anyways, other than that, in the recess of my brain, there was Animorphs. And again, I just thought every book was that. Oh, I'm turning into a horse. I have a hunger for hay. Don't look at my. It's massive. I thought like that's all it was. It's just like a small book of a kid randomly turned into some animal, and then he's just describing for like 30 pages. I can fly like a bee now. Well, it turns out they're more they're not as they're not anthology books. They're a linear story about space race slugs and genocide and kids being drafted into war. And they're actually like supposedly very dark and heavy books. And Ryan Coogler is now actually going to be an executive producer and work on the show. So we have it here. Animorphs TV series in development at Disney Plus. Ryan Coogler, Proximity Media to produce. See, look, I like again. If I saw that book, I in my mind did not have no interest reading because I just thought it was a kid going, "Oh, mom, I'm getting horny," and a double meaning because he's growing a horn. Oh, I want to ram through a wall. Oh, today my door was stuck and I just destroyed it. I thought that was the entire book every time. But no, it turns out it's literally about a group of kids that have the power to turn into animals, any animal they touch. And yeah, so here we go. Says the official logline states the show follows a group of teenagers who uncover a hidden threat lurking beneath everyday lives, all while juggling relationships, curfews, and the chaos of high school. Ah, yes. The recipe for a good story. The world might die. But Becky, we have math class. It's what I love to see in my TV shows. Uh, the show followed a group of teenagers: Jake, Marco, Cassie, Rachel, and Tobias, who discover that the Earth is being secretly taken over by parasite alien race known as Yeerks. The group meets a dying alien on the Andalite race, which has been fighting the Yeerks and their expansion across the galaxy. The Andalite gives them the ability to morph into animals they touch by absorbing the animal's DNA. They use the power to launch a secret resistance against the Yerks and to save the world. They later joined by Axe. Okay, cool. I mean, sure. Why not then? I hope it's nothing of the tone of the Goosebumps show on Disney Plus. I know that was more made by Sony and then sold to Disney Plus, but man, I just had better hopes for it. And just like these young teen dramedies, it could be good, but sometimes like I was just reading to you, they have to save the world and fight people, but oh, Miss Kapinski's being really mean and sending me to the principal's office. But I really got to fight that alien. I don't know, man. Sometimes just let the aliens win. Just let them. Math class that important to you? Just let them. Someone said pushing 80, by the way. All right, Drew. Okay, but Animorphs. Honestly, the thing that's makes me most excited is Ryan Coogler. But if anything, the show I'm more wanting to see is his X-Files reboot that he's working on. Because Ryan Coogler is making X-Files, so that right now is probably what I'm more excited about than kids turning into rhinos. Crazy stuff. Let me see what else we got going on. Avatar 4 and 5 looks like it could be happening. I think we might eventually just end up going to questions. I don't have much more. Ben 10, I wish. We need a Leprechaun reboot. I agree. There was supposed to be one, and it looks like it got canned. Someone said here, did you see the Zach Kreger stuff? Did you hear about Zach Kreger's? Yeah, we could talk about that a little bit. What not Resident Evil, sorry. Resident Evil. Okay, as you guys know, Zach Kreger, who just recently did Weapons, uh, is making a Resident Evil movie. Honestly, it's the most excited I have been for Resident Evil films since maybe when they announced the Faithful reboot that ended up not being great. But funny enough, the best Resident Evil movies look to be the ones that ignore the games, because that's what Zach Kreger is doing. He came up with an original idea set within the Resident Evil world, and it's looking like it's going great. Here we have World of Real that lets us know Zach Kreger has reportedly been Resident Evil has been described as a horror fury road that is 90 minutes of all gas, no brakes. That sounds really cool. And if you guys remember, this movie unfortunately had its script leaked online. And for those nerds that actually read it in its entirety, said that the script is actually great, pretty funny, and seems like a good time. And I like this description, a horror Fury Road. They're talking about Mad Max Fury Road. And man, that's a good movie. That's an awesome movie. And the way it's set up also as like one long chase sequence, and now we're going to get that in Resident Evil because the movie is supposed to be about a character trying to go from point A to point B. But man, that journey is filled with zombies, crazy things. I like that. And it's going to play into the fact how you start out in the games, where it's like you begin and you don't have much. You need to find resources, get stuff, add to your what is it, your backpack, and use it to your advantage. So I think that sounds cool. I can't wait. I'm really excited for it. I love that description. Glad that it's going good. Yeah, it'll be Resident Evil in name only. Uh, was it Resident Evil name only? Yeah. Somebody will probably say, "Boy, that Umbrella Company sure screwed things up." Yeah, well, time to get a point A to point B. Exact dialogue. Good stuff though. I love hearing that it's doing well, and I can't wait to see that. Very excited for it. Very excited for it. Are you familiar with Evil Bong? I have heard of Evil Bong. I've never watched an Evil Bong movie. It just looks too stupid for me. CinemaCon this month. Yes, very excited. And you know I'll be covering it and giving you guys video. Hopefully they reveal good stuff. Don't get too excited. People always want some giant announcements. Sometimes we get them, but most of the time it's them just talking about the movies they're about to come out. All right. See here. Yeah, looks like that was the main topics we're gonna discuss. And now we just get into it, y'all. We just gonna move forward. All right, let's see what the homies have to say. What's your favorite Adult Swim show? Venture Bros? Adult Swim. Well, would we count Family? Oh no, I know now. I was gonna say like, would we count Family Guy? But it's Robot Chicken. Robot Chicken was my favorite Adult Swim show. I loved Robot Chicken. I haven't caught up with it. I know it's still ongoing, but man, I was obsessed with Robot Chicken. I thought Robot Chicken was kind of like the peak of comedy. I love the parody stuff. Learned a lot about like 80s 70s pop culture through watching Robot Chicken, because it's just a bunch of guys who missed the 80s. Seth Green and all that. Loved every time they did DC skits. If my favorite one probably was like when Mario and Luigi um Mario Kart, was it in Raccoon City? Speaking of Resident Evil, yeah, it was Mario Kart in Raccoon City. Mario Kart. That was like, if you guys remember iPod Touches, I had this skit on my iPod Touch and I would watch it religiously. Me and my friend would sit in the cafeteria and we'd just be like, good times. Loved Robot Chicken. So probably Robot Chicken. Let's see here. Chris, we always talk about movies, but legit interested in what music you've been listening to lately. Man, I'm at that point now, and you'll hit it too, my younglings. Anybody younger right now watching, you'll hit it too. Unless you're just that big of a music guy, you're some Anthony Fantano over here. Um, but I'm at the point now where I rarely listen to new music, and I just go to old music. I just go to the older stuff. And so like I like a little bit of the older, but I'll go through phases. Like like my punk rock was a lot because it makes me nostalgic to when I was in middle school. So like in middle school, I listened to a lot of like Sum 41, Blink 182, um, Simple Plan. Shows you what kind of kid I was. Everybody hates me. Oh, what's up, Tid? What's going on, man? Yeah, no one likes me. Um, I love Queen. Love a lot of Queen music. Let me see what's been playing lately. Uh, a lot of the same old on here. But yeah, that's me. I even listened to Kermit the Frog. I was listening to Rainbow Connection by Kermit the Frog. Probably because I was trying to get my kid to sleep, and I was like, that's music appropriate for him. The Rainbow Connection. A frog sings this, son. Oh, he's magical. You're gonna love him. Kermit the Frog here. It's kind of what he sounds like. Using good techniques for reels, but not getting many views, and not even 1K views, not to keep posting, right? How many views at the beginning? Well, reels is a completely different animal. You guys have seen my when I do reels on here. I have no idea how the reels algorithm works. I've got locked down the TikTok algorithm. That's the one I know where it's like, okay, if I make a video on this and say this word and do this, it'll probably go big. And 9 times out of 10 it will. Sometimes I'll post that one. I was like, dang, I thought that'd do better. But reels and YouTube shorts, you got me. That just their algorithm's a little different. We're about to have the craziest week of TV premiering maybe ever with Euphoria. Can't wait. Hacks. Don't know that one. The Boys, yes. I don't know if I want to see the new season of Beef. All they're having premieres. Is the new season of Beef look good to you guys? I did like the last season, but I'm not crazy about watching another one. I was like, it was just a good one and done season. But yeah, cool. It's been weeks. I made it. Oh, I appreciate you being here, buddy. I appreciate you being here. How's the dad life been? It's been pretty good. It's been pretty good. Gets exhausting, tiring, but I love that little guy. Love him a lot. What are your overall thoughts on the Avatar Aang movie coming later this year, just in general, based on the information we have so far? I mean, I'm gonna watch it. It looks cool. I like the direction. I like that it was made with the intention to go to theaters. It just sucks that it's not. Hopefully, they at least do like a limited theatrical release for the people that really wanted it to go to theaters. But I also hope then the people will tune in on Paramount because you got to show that you care about it, right? What is the most mid movie you ever watched? Oh, the most like where it's like it's not even bad. It just kind of exists. Oh man. What are some recent ones? I'm scared about this pizza movie. Everybody's watching it. Hopefully it's good. I haven't watched it yet. It just what came to mind. I was like, because I want to watch it. The Gabe Monterazzo movie, the pizza, the I'm Good Bro movie. You guys seen that? If you guys don't know, this is a movie, obviously with the kid from Stranger Things, Dustin. It's right now on Hulu, but it was going viral online because one person made this image and completely ruined the hype for this movie. Somebody made this image right here, the I'm Good Bro, with the trailers and all that, and this photo single-handedly ruined any hype anybody could have had for this movie. And I thought that was hilarious. But I hope that's not a mid one. Let me see here. The chat's got some good ones going on. Let me see if I agree with that chat here. Um, some pixels. Yeah, but that could honestly be said for most Adam Sandler movies. Like they're just kind of like the most mid. Adam Sandler's got some good ones in there I like, but yeah. Oh yes, War Machine. Yes, there we go. Perfect. Dude, War Machine was pretty mid. It's like it's not bad, but man, having Alan Richson and a group of soldiers fighting an alien robot in the woods, it should not be mid. It should not be mid. There should be more to it. I like Paul Blart. Someone just said Paul Blart in the chat. Scream 7 was just bad to me. I'm not even going to say mid. That was just bad. It crossed the line to bad. Karate Kid, great one. That's another one. The Karate Kid Legends movie, another one where it's like, it's not really bad. It wasn't good either. It just kind of was there. It was just like, dang, really? You got Jackie Chan, Ralph Macchio, the two different eras of Karate Kid coming together for this story. And it's just kind of the most basic Karate Kid movie you could do. It's a Karate Kid with not much flavor. So yes, that's perfect mid. Ready or Not 2? Yeah, maybe a little bit. I still liked it a bit. Um Brave New Worlds. Yeah, I guess so. Brave New World, yeah, definitely. Probably was out there. Why wasn't I casting Karate Kid? Dude. You could have done it, Jonathan. Can you do any kicks? I mean, you got the face for it. Don't cancel me, John. Now You See Me. Yeah, those are some good suggestions. Chat. Should talk about the Jonathan Majors stuff. I just saw that popping up. I did a little bit of reading on it before. So okay, well, some backstory on this. So Jonathan Majors, as you guys know, was canceled, removed as Kang from the MCU. Uh, if we put his controversy aside, I think Jonathan Majors was world class actor. I felt like he was on his way to do a lot of stuff. Could have had an Oscar one day if he didn't have anything like that, because I felt like that's how good of an actor he was. Uh, and well, because of his cancellation and things like that, he's trying to start up his career. And one of the moves he made, which I just kind of laugh at and really shows you where how desperate he is, he joined the Daily Wire in their production company. And the Daily Wire, you know, it's that production company with Ben Shapiro and all the right wingers where they I don't even know what they do. I haven't seen one Daily Wire movie that looks interesting. But it's like, okay, they got Jonathan Majors and they were going to make an action movie. And it was supposed to like be inspired from like 80s, 90s action movie and just go back to that kind of vibe. And that's honestly all it feels like they do is make movies great again. That's what they want to do, right? So I was like, I don't really care. Probably not going to want it. But if it's a fun action movie and he's good in it, I'll try and check it out. Well, we got an update on how that's going right now. Jonathan Majors fell through a window on Daily Wire action flick, leading crew to walk off set. Producers say they don't negotiate with communists. What? I don't I don't even know how we got to that. Jonathan Majors falls, gets hurt, crew walks away, and producer says, "We don't Okay, let's read the context of this a little bit. Uh Okay, it says here, as previously reported, called a strike against the production on March over a series of labor issues. Okay. Doesn't surprise me. Okay, we understand that initially the union attempted to sign a contract with the production in order to secure payment into the union's health and pension fund. However, things got more serious as safety concerns grew over the past few weeks of production. Okay, so it looks like it was unsafe set. Really were trying to go back to the 80s and 90s filmmaking. Producers have not denied any of the below allegations, but when reached by deadline for comment, they said, we don't. Wow, dude. So, not only did your crew try to warn you of how dangerous and unsafe these work conditions are, to now Jonathan Majors, your star, fell through a window, got injured, and when your crew walks off because you aren't doing what's required of making the set safe and good environment for everybody, and your response as the producer is, we don't negotiate with terrorists? That's not a good look. That's not a good look. Yeah, the incident was captured on video obtained by Deadline, which is embedded. Oh, we got a video. Okay. Multiple sources confirmed Deadline that the accident occurred after the window was replaced with unsecure. Okay, let's look at this video. That's an ad. Okay, let's let the ad. Come on, come on. Is this the video? Oh my goodness, it's the video. Let's see how it goes. Okay, that's Jonathan Majors. What's happening? Come on. Oh, they just fall through the window. I don't think that was supposed to happen. Everybody just rushes. Oh, dude, what story floor are they on? Everybody just looking. That was not supposed. I think it looks like the scene was supposed to end with them leaning against the window. But, dude, well, at least Jonathan had somebody to fall on. That's crazy. Okay. Since the tempered glass was only sitting loosely on the window, both actors and the sheet of glass 6 feet to the ground. Killen required stitches all over his hands. After the incident, sources with knowledge of the incident say one crew member who says they arrived on set after the incident to help reset the scene told Deadline on the conditions of the anonymity. When I got there, nobody mentioned anything about people falling out the window. It seemed weird to me. Bro got onto set and everything was awkward and silent. And he's like, oh, the vibes are off here. Is everything was the catering table bad? Was the tuna bad? I had a bite of it. It tasted funny. Is that why everybody's quiet? What happened here? Nobody told the guy setting the set, hey, make sure you put that in right because we just had him fall out the window. Yeah, that's not a good look for Daily Wire, but also not a surprise. And their response, terrible. Terrible. So, yeah, that's what's going on. That's crazy. Crazy. Insane that we just saw those details now. You guys let me know. Let's see here. Hi, I'm a big fan of your videos. I love the streams. I'm wondering, do you watch High Potential on Disney Plus featuring Caitlin Olsen? Keep up the great work. I don't watch High Potential. My lady does though. That's a show that she started watching. She's watching a lot more shows when I'm not around because she's got to be with the baby. You know, she's also a breast feeding, things like that. So she's got something to watch, and we usually like to watch everything together. But I've given her permission to find shows that I wouldn't be into, and I said High Potential looks like a show that you would like, which is about I think a cleaning lady that one day finds out she just has a really good intuition, and then it just becomes about her helping the cops. It's like one of those shows where it's like it's a good premise for a one episode. Cleaning lady turns into the detective? Huh. But now it's like 4 seasons and it's like you used to be a cleaning lady and now you've helped over 300 murders get solved. Huh. It's kind of like The Rookie. You know, The Rookie was a show I started watching. I still watch. But like the premise of that show was like, oh, old guy becomes a cop, and oh, funny, the 50-year-old is the rookie. But now 7 seasons in, and the dude is like John Wick, and it's still called The Rookie. I don't know, you know. So yeah, we got that. Hey Chris, have you seen the leaked popcorn? Oh, I think I did see that in passing. It's like the arcade cabinet, right? Mortal Kombat 2 popcorn buckets. Yeah, it's like an arcade cabinet, and yeah, here it is. Which I don't mind it. It's fine. I wish it was actually a working one. I know maybe that's too much to ask for. Just the shape of it alone, not that crazy because I think we've actually already seen a couple popcorn buckets in the shape of arcade cabinets. I think there was the Tron one for Tron 2 or Tron what was it? Ares. It's probably another one out there, but yeah, still kind of a cool look. We'll see if there'll be any other ones. Be cool if they had one that could turn into one of the masks, right? That'd be dope, but oh well. What are your early thoughts about the drama with Robert Pattinson's and Day? I want to see it. I'm trying to stay away from much talk about it because there's supposed to be some reveal or thing in the movie that is the whole basis of it. Hopefully I have time this weekend to go check it out. I don't know if this will be a thing. I'll review for the channel just for the sake of time, but I do want to see it. I like me Robert Pattinson and Zendaya. Them together in a movie sounds like a good time. Hey Chris, what's a film where the trailer was more epic than the actual movie? For me, Aquaman 2 and Matrix 4. Great trailers, bad movies. I will agree with you on Matrix 4. That's one where I was like, it was just a lot of Keanu Reeves doing pushing the wind. When it's like, dude, that's so wild that for a Matrix movie, a franchise where you're known for like the kung fu and the really fast paced moving and good choreography, and the whole movie is Keanu. I don't know why'd you do that. Uh, so not a big fan of that one. I know some people like that Matrix movie. Aquaman 2, dude, James Wan, good or bad movie, he still delivers stylized fights, dude. That Black Manta and Aquaman fight still really cool. A lot of good stuff in there. So, maybe not as grand of a movie as the first one, but I still think visually that lived up to it. Other ones where I was like, man, that really didn't have much in it. Oh, look at that, huh? We just watched the video of Jonathan Majors and discussing films decides to tweet it. Oh, we got a discussing film viewer right now. Who is you, buddy? Yeah, one of y'all saw that and was talking about it. I've noticed that a lot sometimes. Sometimes I'll tweet something very specific, and then discussing films will do it right after me, and I'm like, oh, one of y'all watching? Interesting. Anyways, dude, because come on, that story had been up for like 2-3 hours. No one actually clicked on the article to read it. That's how much no one cared about a Daily Wire movie. So that's why I was shocked that there was even a video on the article. Anyways, as far as that, what other like trying to think of like, was there any recent action I know there was like a big one with Drive, but that was just more of them mismanaging the way the movie, and Drive is an awesome movie. It's just not very action packed as they make it out to be. Yeah, we'll see. Ant-Man Quantumania. That one, I agree. I wish there was more stuff in it. I was expecting more Kang, like a big Kang fight scene, or like some flashback scene when Kang mentions, like, I've killed Thor, I've killed you. I thought we would get like a scene from like an alternate timeline where Kang killed the Avengers. That would have been hype. We didn't get any of that. Yo, did you hear that Universal might be appearing at Cinema Con, and we might get our first look into such as Five Nights at Freddy's 3. Also, hello man, how are you? I wouldn't get your hopes up. It's mainly just to showcase the movies coming to theaters already. They might in passing bring up Five Nights at Freddy's 3, but they wouldn't have anything to show you as a first look because they haven't started filming Five Nights at Freddy's 3. So unless it's concept art or like a poster that they've put up, there's nothing much to show. But Universal will definitely be there. All the major studios are usually there. Mario gets Peach. Luigi gets this tall glass of water. Rosalina, hey, somebody watched the spoiler review. Yeah, check it out. That's not a spoiler for the movie. That's just a line I say in my Mario Galaxy spoiler review. Rip Alfred. He deserves so much better. He really did, man. I felt bad for Alfred. Oh, dude, thank you. Oh, my goodness. That's a lot of moolah. Thank you, just another boring teen. You're not boring to me. Alfred will be remembered. I'm going to dig him out of the trash and give him a proper coffin with that super chat. Thank you, buddy. Heard about Miami Vice remake in the Gray movie. Well, in the Gray movie, I'm not sure. Is that the one with Jake Gyllenhaal and Henry Cavill? Is that the one you're talking about in the Gray movie? Man, that's those Guy Ritchie movies. He's like popping them out like candy, and I feel like those would be the movies my dad would eat up. Those would be the films he'd always be renting at Blockbuster. Those Guy Ritchie movies, because he did one with like Jason Statham. He had one with Alan Ritchson, Henry Cavill. What was it, Gentlemanly Warfare, or whatever that one was called, and now this one. It's just like he's really popping them out, and they're not doing much business. But Guy Ritchie's getting these movies made. The Miami Vice remake, very excited though, especially with Michael B. Jordan attached there. I think that could be a very fun, cool movie. It could be like a modern day Bad Boys, in a way, probably taken slightly more serious. I love me a good buddy cop, and that's exactly what Miami Vice would be. And Michael B. Jordan, I'd love to see him do it. I guess you can say Alfred got flocked. Thank you, Sergio. Benji says, I'm so delusional that when I saw the DD episode titled Shoot the Moon, I really thought Moon Knight would show up. Maybe one day they'll remember him. Yeah, I don't think Moon Knight's coming until like post Secret Wars reboot and they try again with Midnight Suns. I get why people want more Moon Knight cuz he as a character, he is cool and interesting. He's got a nice outfit. There's some interesting lore behind him with Kongju or whatever the guy's name is. But dude, how did they like not even get that third personality? They really baited us and we're like, we'll get a second season. That a second season never came. Hopefully we see Moon Knight somehow, some way, but who knows if it'll even be with Oscar Isaac again, you know? I wasn't a big fan of what they did though. What happened on the new Daniels project? Ryan Gosling was in and out within like a week. Yeah, I saw that. So if you guys don't know, Ryan Gosling was attached Ryan Gosling. He was attached to the new Daniels movie. If you don't know who the Daniels are, they're the directors behind Everything Everywhere All at Once, which still love that movie, dude. I'll never forget watching that movie in theaters for the first time. I laughed, I cried. It was crazy. It was a good movie. I haven't watched it in a while. I wonder how it holds up. But it was a great film, really out there. And Ryan Gosling was attached, and then no, never mind. I don't know what happened. Really didn't the article didn't say much about what the case was. After hoping to get a deal done for Ryan Gosling to star, Universal secretly untitled Project Daniels. Daniel Cam sources say now saying will no longer appear in the film. Oh well, it happens. Ryan's doing great though. Ryan's doing great, and whatever he ends up doing next will be fine. Maybe he's trying to stay away from that fatigue because once they see him in a trailer, you're gonna get them comments. Ryan again? Why does he gotta be in everything? What made you pick the name Emilio? Great choice. Okay, you want to know something? The name, okay, for the name for the longest time for my son was gonna be Miles. I was gonna name him Miles, and yes, after Miles Morales, because I know he's one of the first Black Spider-Man, but to me, he was also the first Hispanic Spider-Man. That was a big deal for me. Um, and then I kept encountering a lot of little Miles through family, friends. They would name their kid Miles. And I'm like, dang, Miles is becoming a lot more common than I thought. And I was like, damn, I don't know. I think I'll maybe have to change it. And I really still like the name Miles. Maybe if I have another son, he might still be Miles. And then the next name, which believe it or not, I thought of it first, was going to be Elio. The next name we came up with was Elio. And that was before this movie came on my radar or became a thing. We had the name Elio for a while, and I was like, that just sounds cool, unique. I ain't never found no Elios. It still has a Hispanic twang to it, because I always still want him to be, proud of his Mexican Hispanic heritage. Elio. And then this movie came out, and I was like, no, it's a Pixar movie. Every kid's gonna be named Elio. Turned out to be one of the least viewed Pixar films, so I don't think we're gonna find many Elios. But because it be like it was the name of a Pixar movie, we decided to change it. We thought maybe it'd be bigger than it was and whatnot. And I think about kids getting bullied, and it's like, oh, it's Elio from the Pixar movie. No kid's gonna say that by the time my kid goes to school. You're gonna say Elio to a kid, he's gonna be like, what's that? What's an Elio? Just didn't do the numbers. So then we just kind of evolved it to Emilio. And there we go. All right. Have heard of childhood bird names, morning dove, any lore you hear from your childhood? Uh let's see. It wasn't the first time I buried an animal. I think I've buried an animal 2 other times in my life, and for reference, I didn't bury Alfred the bird. I put him in a box and I threw him in my trash. It was probably isn't the right. My dogs are diggers. I thought maybe they would, dig him out, and they thought I put him in there as a treat for them to find. Um, but when I was a kid, I had a hamster, cute little hamster, but he died, and I remember we buried him in the tree in front of our apartment building. And that was like the first funeral I ever attended. I remember my parents wanted to just throw him out, and I was like big on, no, we gotta bury him. He deserves a burial. And I just remember standing there crying as my dad was burying him in front of the tree. His bones are still there. I wonder if I find that apartment and I dig him, will his remains be there? The other time I do have a photo of, I think. Maybe I don't. Before we got dogs, I had two guinea pigs. I forget one of them was named Zero. I forget the name of the other one. They were great little guineas. I loved them. I thought they were cute. We'd take them out and let them run around. I don't know if I still have that video. Maybe if I find it real quick. But I have a video of him just running around our apartment back in the day. And let me see here if I can find it. It'd be crazy if I actually find this video. Uh and we had an overlap, and no, Noah didn't kill my guinea pigs. Don't think that. But we did have an overlap, and Noah was a puppy, and I would let Noah chase the guinea pig around the apartment. Poor guinea pig. It was running for its life while Noah the puppy was like, "Oh, this is fun. I like this." Okay. Okay, this is one. Maybe I'll just put it on the big screen. This was part of my Snapchat story, so like forgive the cringy text off to the side. It was for the story. Opening it up right now. Okay, there we go. There's no audio. But this was our old apartment, and that's the guinea pig. And he just was running around. We were trying to catch it. It was hilarious. And so we would do that. That guinea pig, I'd let out, and Noah as a puppy would chase him, my little chihuahua. It was kind of hilarious, but I mean, retrospect, that guinea pig was fearful for its life. My puppy wouldn't chase him to eat him. He'd like chase him to play, which I thought was funny. But eventually all things come to an end, and we had to bury him. We woke up one day and he was dead. That's so morbid to say. But we did. I'm trying to see if I know I took a photo. See if oh, yep, here we go. This was her. Again, I never do any work. Chris, the laziest man you'll ever meet, had my lady bury him. We bought like a kid shovel from Home Depot and just went to work and burying him in a random park. We woke up and they were dead. Well, now they were also rescues. I'll tell you that. If you go to is it PetSmart or Pet Supply? No, PetSmart. If you go to PetSmart, you can ask for a rescued animal. Believe it or not, sometimes people, like, let's say they buy a guinea pig, but 3 weeks in they don't want them anymore. They can return them to the store, but then they no longer put them in the, like, the display case shelf for you to buy. They're just in the back. If I saw like a TikTok or something, somebody said it, and so we tried it. And when we went, they were like, "Oh yeah, we have 2 guinea pigs. You want them?" And they were free. They were just like, "If you want them, you can have them." And so that's how we got them. They were rescues. They were already like old. I guess their old owner didn't want them anymore. But yeah, she said, "Why not a regular shovel?" Because we lived in an apartment, and I'm like, "What are we gonna do with a regular shovel? We're not shoveling things regularly. I'm not gonna keep a full big shovel in the trunk of my car. I get pulled over by the cops one day. That's gonna look bad." It's like, "Why do you have that shovel covered in dirt?" No, your dick is small. You know, I was like, how I react? So we're like a kid shovel for the little guinea pigs, dude. But even shoveling then was pretty hard. Okay, it turns out Texas soil is not built to be shoveled, so that's why. How long did it take her? I did some shoveling. I think at that point I switched because I was tired, and then I was like, all right, you do some digging, and I took a picture. Um, moving on. Live 22 waiting for 3C short. Don't worry, Alfred. We'll be having a good afterlife. I saw Mario Galaxy and was not a Galaxy movie. I thought the OG Mario face ship would be used, at least a cameo. Yeah, there was some good cameos in there. Top 5 Pixar movies go. Also, RIP Alfred. All right, number 1, I'm going the first Toy Story. It's just the best. It's the best. And I'm only picking one per franchise, which maybe I should have gone Toy Story 3 then as number 1. All right. Toy Story 3 number 1. Wall-E, Incredibles. Uh, uh, Wall-E, Incredibles. Do I go Finding Nemo or Monsters Inc? I'm gonna go Monsters Inc. And you know what? Underrated. I like it. It unfortunately died because it was right at the beginning of COVID and people were scared to leave. But it was the last like big movie once COVID hit. Onward. I liked Onward a lot. Which scooper do you find the most reliable? It depends. It depends for what I want to be scooped. Uh so like Daniel RPK is best when it comes to trailers. He still gives out good information every now and then. But for me it's like trailers, like 100% trailers is what I go to him for. Then there's people like Cryptic, what I also like. I think Cryptic is a good scooper. I'm just mainly look like cuz sometimes they're wrong, but what I do like when a scooper is wrong is that they are genuine and they're honest about it. They don't lie, they don't twist things around, or some they never address when they're wrong and they just keep spewing nonsense. And so Cryptic is one of them. For a while, he doesn't really scoop much, but Viewer Add-in was another one. When he randomly wants to, he'll scoop, but he constantly says he's out of the scooping game, then he'll scoop something. And he's pretty reliable. I think was it Paco? I don't know how to spell apocalypse. Oh, I would just go with Alex. Alex from My Circus is pretty good. Let me see if they have the other people in there. No, I can't find them. But yeah, he runs My Cosmic Circus. They do stuff. Oh, and final one, Nexus, who is right now like has a great track record. Them so far have rarely seen them get something wrong. Anytime they got an exclusive, it's bang on the money. Those are the ones for me. I'm meeting Don Mancini, Brad Dourif, and Doug Bradley next week. Nice, that's a good lineup. Bruce Campbell in June. Y'all allowed to celebrate for me the main character. Oh yes, let's do it. Do I have a clap? I don't have a clap. So
Oh boy, yeah.
that's what you get, buddy. That's good, man. I've met Brad Dourif. I think that's the only ones out of that lineup. Bruce Campbell always has a busy line though at HorrorCons, at least the ones I've been to, and even probably more now with him being sick. It's cool that he's still going to be there in June. Without spilling your secrets, what's your day like from waking up to getting movie news? Do you Google it, get X up, etc.? I mean, there's no secrets to it. It's literally just I've curated my timeline to be just movie news stuff, so that usually when I'm on, it'll always, well, not this one. This is my backup account. But even then, back in the day, this was curated for that. And yeah, I mean, I just follow people who actually talk about movie news and share movie news stories. So yeah, I just take a scroll through Twitter, see what's update. I go through like comic book movie, discussing films and all that. And knowing how movie news works, it's usually by 8 a.m. my time. Trailers or stories pop up, and that's when I'm like, all right, is there something to talk about? And when there's not, man, am I scrambling? I'm like, what kind of video do I do? What do I talk about? What do I make? And that's why I'm trying to figure out more content that isn't as news based or waiting on there something to happen for me to talk about. I want to do more content like that, and I'm trying to figure out. I talked a little bit earlier, like I really like Papa Meat's format, and I don't want to just rip from a creator, but I've thought about it before, like when I would watch Scott the Woz. It's just like the way he takes a topic on the thing he loves, where Scott is like video games. Papa Me is just about any random weird internet thing, but it's like there should be a way I can focus in on a random topic within the movie world and just do a fun video on that, almost icebergish, or just kind of going through it. I think would be fun. It's like a video on the VHS era, talking about what VHS were likes, my relationship with them, just like a fun, not so much an educational video, but just more of like just an entertaining something you watch while you're eating. I want to give you that. I want to give you fun content that you can watch while you're eating, or you need to chillax after you come home. That's like one of the next things I want to do. And not so much older movie reviews. Everybody says, like, oh, you just do older reviews. It's like you say that, but it has to be timed with either a movie that's coming out, like with the Punisher special. I kind of want to go back and watch the Punisher movies and maybe do a video on that. That'll work. But just randomly like picking, I don't know, Mrs. Doubtfire. Hey, yo, what? Robin Williams in a wig? I mean, I would, you know? So, yeah. I don't know. Let me see what's the chat saying about that. Talk about random stuff in the movie space that interests you. Yeah, see, and that's what I want to do. It wouldn't just be that. It'd be. I think it'd be fun. I'd want to do a test run of it, and you guys let me know. Uh, let me see what some of y'all are saying here. A few of his videos. Yeah, Scott's great. I just recently watched this Game Boy Advance video for some reason. I'll be sitting down wanting to watch some Punisher movie. I can't wait, dude. I need to find me a Frank Castle outfit with the white boots and all that, and just oh yeah, I'm gonna punish there. See here. R.I.P. Robin Hood. Yes, yes. But yeah, it's not always specifically movies. It's like a topic within the movie world. Like I thought a good video would be talking about like standees at a movie, like movie theater standee. Like I thought that would be fun. Like I could do a video going back. What are like the craziest or funnest movie standees that we have seen? There's basic ones here, but it's like for Nope, they had this. I think this one's CGI. I don't think this one's real. But like the monkey there, and then there's been crazier stuff that's happened, like with the was it when the Twister movie came out with Glenn Powell? Like they actually had the Twister machines. I'm like, what's the most craziest, funnest, or what's the worst ones? And I have pictures over the years of standees I've taken. You guys probably too, but I'm like, that'd be a fun video, is going through standees, and that's a topic, stuff like that. You guys let me know if you'd be into that. I don't know. All right, let's move on. Sub 3C, any thoughts on rumored working titles for the Batman Part 2? Yes, we just talked about that. If you missed it, I think that'll be a clip on the Clips channel for sure. But yeah, it seems like Court of Owls. Now the one thing I didn't mention that probably I should have while talking it. So the Court of Owls have the Talons, which are like they're assassins. They're supposed to be highly skilled, very good at martial arts. They're supposed to be as good as fighters as Batman usually. I don't know if they'll do the Talons, or the Court of Owls will instead just kind of be puppeteering different Batman villains. So they could have the Talons, or they could be letting Riddler out of Arkham to cause mayhem, or getting the Joker released so he can do something. Just like the way they can like just send obstacles in Batman's way to do stuff. Thoughts on Undertone becoming a franchise? It depends on the direction. They definitely laid the seeds there, and there's enough lore there where I'm curious. But man, Undertone is one of those movies where I liked it. I enjoyed it. I thought it was scary and creepy, but I have a hard time telling other people to go check it out because I just don't know if you'll enjoy it the way I did. Like I had my friend who was like, "I need a movie to go watch in theaters," and he was like, "Have you heard of Undertone?" I was like, "I really liked it, dude, but I don't know if you're gonna like it." And it's harder, because I have to take more into account. They have limited free time. They can't just go to the movies when they want. This is their one time a week, maybe one time a month. Do I really want to send them to something like Undertone where it's like a 50-50 they might like, might not? Or do I send them something to like They Will Kill You where it's like, I really love that and I think you'll really love that, you know? Love your content 3C. WrestleMania predictions? Oily men gonna touch. Fortunately, I'm not much of a wrestling guy, so I don't know what predictions to make, buddy. But I know John Cena's hosting, right? Is that the one he's hosting? I know he made a post about it. He's retired now. I still think he's going to throw one punch. Are you going to review Hokum? That is one I want to review. A lot of buzz around that one. People saying it's really creepy. That's the one. I don't know if you've seen the trailer where it's like the Bugs Bunny looking big-eyed thing. That looks crazy. Yeah, definitely want to review that one. How would you like a Jurassic Park movie where the T-Rex fights herbivores, kind of like how they did in The Land Before Time? I mean, I guess. I mean, I'm sure a T-Rex has probably killed a couple herbivores. They're carnivores, so they would want to, right? I wouldn't mind it, but I think like the herbivores are usually sacred in like Jurassic Park movies. You don't usually see them get hurt unless it's like in like an emotional thing, like in Fallen Kingdom, where that did get me emotional. Are we going to see Moon Knight again? I think sometime, but I don't know if it's with Oscar Isaac or if it's in a show or in Midnight Suns, Have you heard about the Portrait of God horror film that's being made? Sam Raimi and Jordan Peele are producing. The original short is good. Portrait of God. I don't think I've heard of that. Portrait of God. Let's see here. What is this? Portrait of God. Let's see here. Portrait of God is the main titular antagonist of the short film Portrait of God. It is an entity of unknown intent claiming to be God that manifests itself to select few people who look at its painting. Well, that sounds like an interesting concept. I wouldn't mind seeing that. I got to watch the short. But I mean, if Jordan Peele and Sam Raimi are producing, then yeah. Animorphs Disney Plus series from Ryan Coogler. Yeah, I saw that. We talked about it. Hopefully that comes out good. I wonder how that would go. Where's my dude? A lot of people wanted Moon Knight lately. What's up with that? Why all the Moon Knight risers lately? The moon must be full tonight. You're awesome, man. The Mario merch M2 Mario movie 2 was fire. You're fire. Oh, thank you, buddy. Thank you. I'm a big believer that one guy in the stairwell that looks out of the place with all the cops when Batman's grapple is an owl. Oh, a big. Oh, I think I know what you're talking about. Back when we thought the Court of Owls were in the Batman trailer, I remember that. I mean that'd be a funny way to do it. The Batman Court of Owls trailer. I remember that one, dude. There was so much speculating back in the day. Yeah, if you guys don't remember, there was just this perfect shot of a guy walking. And it's just a guy whose face is very white, but it's like people were like, dude's in a precinct walking around with a Court of Owls mask. I don't think so. I cannot wait to see what craziness comes about with the marketing of Batman Part 2 and what more people make up. Remember when people thought the symbol on Batman's chest was made out of the gun that killed his parents? Someone just tweeted that and Arrow was like, oh yeah, that's fact. I believe that. Possible Avatar 4 and 5 news. Yes, we just saw that. I can bring that back up if you want. Here it says Avatar franchise producer Ray Sanchin says they're moving full speed ahead on the next 2 films. Scripts are brilliant. Slated release date are tentative. They're currently budgeting, scheduling, planning, and building the pipeline. As far as we're concerned, we're heading forward. Which I want to. I definitely want at least one more Avatar movie. I still liked Fire and Ash, but man, it was no way of water. It went back to how I felt with the first movie, where I was just kind of like, it looks good, but man, this could have been a little bit shorter. But the fire people were awesome. Ketrich is becoming, or Quaritch, however you say his name, really good villain. I'm curious for when, James Cameron said in interviews we're supposed to eventually go back to Earth. And if you've seen the deleted scenes, or I guess the early scenes in the first Avatar where you see what Earth is like, how overcrowded and all that it is, really do like the way that looks. And just how would that work? Would the Navi just be giant people on Earth, or would they avatar themselves into human bodies? What's going on with that? Especially stuff going on with Spider, how now he is mutating and turning into naturally one of them. How does all that work? I want to see at least one more, but man, I needed to be a knockout, or I'm just not going to be that excited for five. Scariest, creepiest thing that's ever happened. Probably Alfred the bird. I mean, just that sound, dude, of him. I can't imagine what that felt like for that bird. But scariest thing, I've mentioned this before. I'll touch upon it really quickly. Back when I lived, I wouldn't call it the ghetto, but I had friends and family that would tell me, "You live in the ghetto." But that apartment that I was showing you, where I had the guinea pigs and where I had my first studio, or I had one of the studios that I would do during the channel. But the one where I would sit at the desk and I had the horror figures front and center and my shelf and all that stuff in the back. Uh, I guess I thought it was an okay neighbor. I didn't see the problem, but I guess it was just a lot of shady characters living there. And we would every now and then hear gunshots. We would tell ourselves it's fireworks, or that we would tell ourselves it's like it's nothing, and it's just fireworks, or it's like people messing with firecrackers, or someone hit a car or something. I don't know, right? But it was very clearly gunshots. Well, uh when you live in an apartment and you want to take out your trash, it's not like living in a house where you put it in your little can and you roll it onto the street on trash day. When you got trash, well, you got to carry that big old bag to the actual dumpster. That's sometimes a bit of a walk from where your apartment is. And so I remember it was like 8, 9 o'clock, and we had trash, so I had to go take it out. So I get the bag, I go roll it up, I put a little knot on it, put on my pantuflas. That's Spanish for my slippers, and I start walking outside, making a little. It's always a peaceful, quiet. Nothing. I don't never see anything crazy, but I'm going, and right as I'm throwing my trash, I hear it, gunshot. And this was not a far away one. This wasn't like an echo, a reverb. Whoever just shot that gun was within, I would say, 50 feet within my vicinity, which might not sound like a lot, but to me, that is a lot. And you hear that, and my immediate thought was that was close. That means I could see the person who did it. And in my main character syndrome mind, I'm thinking I could turn around and walk back to my apartment and bump into the person with the gun. And maybe they just killed somebody, or maybe they did something with it, and now I'm a witness. And like in the movies, they got to kill the witness, right? Because I'm standing between them and freedom. So luckily, where the garbage was, right next to it was my car, and I had my keys in my pocket, surprisingly, because I locked the door. That makes sense then, because I had to lock the door when I left my apartment. Um, and so I just think I'm hopping in my car. So I do that. I go in my car, I hop in it, and I get the seat, and I go, "Whoop," and I just stay down there for a good, I want to say 10 minutes, because I'm just hoping whoever that was walks away, goes away. They don't see me. I don't encounter them. I'm all good. All this is happening. I didn't take my phone outside because I was just expecting, take trash, go back inside. Phone was somewhere in the apartment, right? Okay. Now the part that I'll never forget, and it makes me feel kind of good a little bit. Um, Eventually the 10 minutes go by, and then I'm like, all right, coast is clear. I can't sleep tonight in my car. I gotta go back up. And so I finally waddle my way back to my apartment, open the door, and you have to remember, my lady is in the house, in the apartment, and she just saw me leave to take the trash, and she knows it doesn't take me what total of like what's 15 minutes to go take out the trash. It takes me like 2, 3 minutes just to walk and come back. But she heard that same gunshot, and now I'm not showing back up to the house. My phone is in the apartment. She doesn't know what happened to me. I remember walking back into the apartment, and I see her standing with her holding her set of keys, and her face is red because she was just thinking the worst. She thought something had happened to me. And I just made me feel good. It's like, oh, someone does care about me. You thought I died and I made you emotional? God, come on, please sit down, sit down. Come on, don't. No, no, no. Probably traumatizing for her, but it was just crazy, and that's when we were like, we got to get out of here, man. This is no place to be. And then we eventually did. But man, that's probably the scariest thing that happened is I heard a gunshot way too close to me, and I thought the culprit was like around the corner. How would you feel if there was any asymmetrical Freddy Krueger online horror game, but there was no single player campaign and it dies after a year? I mean, that would suck. But dude, a Freddy Krueger game would be so easily awesome to make. You could put a good creative team behind that. You could make a fun game because sky's the limit. You're in a dream world, right? So you just have to let's just make 5 characters and give them all interesting levels. I mean, dream worlds, and you can create such interesting, fun mechanics. You could have a guy who's obsessed with superheroes, and you could have a Spider-Man just scene, and then Freddy Krueger's there trying to kill you, becomes the Goblin or something, going after you. You could have one like you could do all sorts of genres. It doesn't have to be an asymmetrical game. If anybody was smart, they would do it. Have you hear the final reveal, the release date for the Avatar: Last Bender live action 2? Yeah, we just talked about that. That's nice. Can't wait for that to come out. More excited for you Avatar fans. Hey Chris, I can't get over how bland and awful the Lanterns trailers look. Why are they still hiring directors who don't like the source material? Also, rip Alfred. Maybe he's with your old lost pet rat. Yeah, maybe. It's hard to say, but maybe it's something smart, I think James Gunn's mentality or what they were going for is they wanted to reel in all the sweet views of those people who watch things like Yellowstone, Tulsa King, 911, right? That crazy show. Remember one of those promos where the asteroids were coming? Impact. Oh, 911, brace yourself. I think they see that as the untapped market. Those are the people who stick to those kind of shows, and they're just not watching Daredevil. They're not watching WandaVision. They're not watching the Penguin. Maybe they actually do because it's a Mafia Sopranos like show, right? But they're not watching like Peacemaker. And so I think their thing is if we make a show that feels like their kind of TV, this detective, true detective or a crime rule show, hey, we can get that views plus the comic book nerds because we know they're more loyal and willing to accept. I'm thinking that's probably what it is. But we'll see, man. Moon Knight news, dude, the Moon Knight people crazy. This guy did it twice. Moon Knight. I wish I had some for you. I haven't seen anything, buddy. Hey Chris, I've been meaning to ask, you ever watch The Legend of Vox Machine? It's pretty epic. Also, movie has effects. The Legend of Vox Machine. I've never heard The Legend of Vox Machine or Machina. I've never seen this. Interesting. Has 100% Rotten Tomatoes. 3 seasons. I will admit it probably wouldn't be the thing like I would gravitate towards. It looks like a little bit of fantasy-esque. I'm not much of a fantasy guy. But man, if it's good, maybe I'll give it a shot when I have nothing to watch. That guy looks like Kratos. He looked like Kratos. Okay, cool. Thank you for putting me on. We got yes, we got to talk about that. Let me check something real quick. We gotta talk about that because I wanted. We gotta have a little town hall meeting. About all this kind of stuff. Let me double check something. Nope, still nothing. Might not have a chance anymore. We'll see. Okay, yes, we got a new look at Winnie the Pooh: Blood and Honey. So as you guys know, Winnie the Pooh: Blood and Honey is in the works. Oh, cool! Look at the behind the scenes of FNAF 3. That's fun. And they finally revealed what Winnie's gonna be looking like along with Tigger. Let's see here if I can find the actual a video. Oh, it should not be hard to find. Where is it? Let me see if I can go to the exact account. Twisted Childhood Universe. Have they updated, posted? Okay, we got this stuff. Did they delete the video? I hope not. It's real. They had an actual video of what it all looks like. Oh, here it is. Okay, here we go. This is what Winnie looks like now in Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey 3. Honestly, not bad. I wish it was a little more yellow. Because I still didn't mind the design from the second movie. I thought that was a good upgrade, definitely from like what it looked like in the first movie, where it was just a mask. And I talked about I wonder why they didn't just keep it the same, but they did make a point in the second movie with the added lore and backstory that they're turning more animalistic. So I guess this is the evolution from that. They're more animal-like in this one, so it's more resembling just a bear. It does look pretty cool. Maybe it will look a little bit more yellowy. Oh shoot, sorry, it might be a little loud. Let me see if I can get that going. Dude, that looks crazy. I wonder if that's uncomfortable to wear. See, that looks pretty yellowy, so that on camera might look nice. That might look good. Okay. And then here we got Tigger, who honestly, it looks like he looks like he's in a suit. I feel like he's a lawyer right now. I think it's a janitor outfit, and Tigger's looks pretty cool. I can see it. Tigger's design was like hit or miss for some people. This is very much Tiger-esque. That looks pretty good, and they're gonna enhance maybe a little bit with CGI and get it going. Okay, now this is kind of where I town hall meeting. I mentioned to you guys before. I did get an offer to be part of Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey 3. It'd be a massacre scene. I would get killed on camera, so I would have a physical appearance this time. And at first I decided I think I'm gonna pass on it. Main reason was it would require me going to the UK for like a week. And man, I just have a fresh baby. He's only 3 months. He'll be 4 months around that time. I just like I'd really hate to leave my lady alone for a whole week with him because he's a lot of work, and I already leave her a lot to even just 3 hours to do this live stream. It could be a lot of work. I feel bad. I've talked it with her, and she's like really pushing me to do it. She's like, this would be fun. This would be a good opportunity. And wouldn't it be funny to show your kids someday that you got killed in a horror movie? And I'm like, yeah, that would be nice. But I think the thing that like really pushed me into maybe wanting to do it now is I saw some of my friends got the offer too. And if I would have known that, I would have kind of said yes right away. I don't know if you know some of these creators, really love them. You have Sydney, you have Gigi, and you have Justin. These are 3 horror creators. You can find them on TikTok. Really love them. They're nice people. I meet them all the time at like Fantastic Fest, horror, film festivals, and things like that. Really great people. And I'm like, dang, if they're gonna be in it, I would want to be in it with them too. So I reached out to them. They said that they're going to be part of the movie, and I'm like, okay, well now I want to be. I'm getting FOMO now. Now I want to be part of it too. So I am leaving it right now as a poll to you guys if this is something you'd actually want to see me do, because I'm just on the fence. And would that be a weird look? That would be an actual IMDb credit for me. That'd be so funny. That'd be my start. That'd be like Jennifer Aniston in the Leprechaun franchise. Although I'd just be a cameo. Polls up right now. It would be a little bit fun, but man, I'm just thinking about that travel and away time for my baby. It makes me wonder, like, I don't know if I could do it. I reached out to them really late because they messaged me like back in February with this, and I just kind of didn't message them. But now I did. Haven't heard back from them. It's only been a couple days though, like 2 days. So we'll see. Maybe they're just since they didn't hear from me, they'd already like wrote me out of the part. But if I could still do it and I can make it work, is that something you guys would want to see me in? It would be funny, and it'd be a good evolution. I had a voice cameo in the first, and you know what I thought too that made me like really want to do it then, even this? Then Dead Meat would have to mention me as a fun fact when doing his kill count. And that would be better than receiving the Oscar. Being mentioned as a fun fact in a Dead Meat video? Bro, I would be a kill on the kill count. Dude, that would be. I hope I'd get the golden chainsaw. um, so I'm gonna reach out and maybe try to make it happen. I got the blessing from my lady and all that, but now I want the fan blessing. I want the fan blessing, dude. 96%. Okay. I think we got our answer here. So, uh, look out for it. I'll see. Maybe I blew my chance by waiting too late. Oh, they also supposedly they're gonna once I'm out there, they're gonna let me see Pinocchio and Strung. So that'd be awesome. I'll reach out to my contacts with the Winnie the Pooh, see if it's still possible. But if not, that's my fault for blowing my chance. But here we go. I still want to see the movie and be excited for it. So you guys let me know. And if you have any suggestions of what you would want me to say or do, please let me know, because I will do it. I'll get a voice line in there. I'll be like, "What? Let me see your Winnie." That could be my thing. All right. Thank you guys. Just thought I'd let you know. Okay. Let's talk a little bit about Outlast horror game in preparation for the movie. Do a little research right here with us, please. Oh my goodness. I'll look up the basic premise of Outlast. Outlast explained. Oh, well, I thought Google would do it, or summarized. Well, not that either. Oh, I'm trying to read this. Look at this. Look how fun this is to do. Okay. In a remote mountains of Colorado, horror waits inside Mount Massive Asylum, a long abandoned home for mentally ill, recently reopened by the research and charity branch of Transnation Markov Corporation. So it's a bunch of mentally ill people. That feels problematic. I don't know if I like this Outlast. I don't know if that's okay. Oh, it looks like a Leatherface. That sounds crazy. I need to do more research on it. It looks like there's a timeline here for a full story. I'll check that out on my free time. A lot of people ask for that. All right, let's do it. Oh, sorry about that. Did you see? Oh yeah, we just did that. All right, glad you saw my post saying you look like Dad from Ted. Yeah, thanks, buddy. Thanks. Really appreciate that one. That Dad from Ted is hilarious. How did they not make a third season, dude? I love that Ted show, dude. Those episodes are so comforting, but man, you go through them so fast. There's no way the animated Ted show they're coming up with is gonna be as comforting as fun as that, but we'll see. How do you rank current video game movie franchises? I still think the first Mario movie is up there. I think it's still up there. Galaxy, unfortunately, is not going to be up there. But Sonic 3 is also another one that's really up there. What's some other ones? Then you also have some ones that are like, do we even count that? Like the what was that one movie? It was just Sony just made it, David Harbour, and it was about Gran Turismo. That was an interesting one because yes, it is about the game, but it's a real life story. That was a good mishmash. I like that one. That one came out nice. Um, let's see here. I'm trying to think. But yeah, as far as the ranking goes, that's how it'd be. I wonder who will actually be like who's going to be the Dark Knight of video game movies, because right now that doesn't exist. There is no definitive, oh, this was, the great one, the best one. There's just ones like, yeah, that one was kind of good, or they did their best there, or like, yeah, that one's a lot of fun. I still wouldn't say there's a definitive number one winner yet. Hopefully we get there. I'm still confused by that Luma scene when she first arrived to Princess Peach Castle. Please give me more context. I mean, I don't know what other context to give you. Then it just sounds like that Luma is saying the F word. It's, Princess Peach, I fucking found you. That's just it. That's the context. Any Moon Knight news, buddy? I'm sorry. There's none. I'll call Kevin Feige myself. Huge Disney trailer Monday. maybe Doomsday. Yes, I did see people teasing about that. They did also tame us that it could be anything else. It could be a couple other Disney movies they're working on, but man, it would be slightly early for Doomsday. I don't think we're going to get a big Doomsday trailer other than the ones we just got until Spider-Man. Once Spider-Man is going to hit theaters, that's when we're getting the Doomsday trailer, in my opinion. But maybe they're releasing it in preparation for Michael Jackson. That's the only other big movie I could think of that would warrant them. So I don't know if it's Doomsday. It could be any other Disney movie. Did you see Aiden Ross bought? Yes, I did see that, which I thought was crazy. He wants to turn it into like what is it, like a museum for Breaking Bad? Get the cast involved. That could be good. Nirvana, the band, the movie, the review. I finally saw it. Reed, the editor, recommended it, and I decided to check it out. And now I need to put you guys onto it. I need you to watch Nirvana, the band, the show, the movie. This was great. Believe the hype, believe it all. This was an awesome movie. I will say it's not as funny as some people were making it. It is definitely a funny movie, but the way some people were hyping it up, they were making me think it was going to be a lot more hilarious. When it's good for a few couple chuckles here and there. But man, this was a great movie. So okay, some context of it. If you don't know, Nirvana, the band, the movie, the show, the movie was based on a show. This was a Canadian TV show that came out way back. And no, you don't need to watch any of the previous show to understand the movie. In fact, it's probably better if you don't know it and you just go into the movie that way. And the first like 10 minutes basically gives you an idea of what the show was like, but it segues you into the movie and that story, and that's all you need to know. You don't need to know much other than these two best friends. They're in a band, and they've spent their whole life just trying to get a gig at this really nice restaurant, and now craziness ensues. It really spoke to me because the movie is essentially one big Back to the Future ripoff. Or parody, I guess not ripoff, parody. And that was just the easy win for me. The whole movie uses so much Back to the Future stuff that there's even like a joke in the movie about like if this movie gets out, our lawyers did work, because that's how much they take from Back to the Future. But it's good, it's enjoyable, it's funny. It works as a good parody movie, and there are things in there where I'm like, "That's how did they do that? That's so creative that they were able to plan for that and actually made a movie out of it." Also, I didn't even know this. The guy, the one of the main guys, he directed. Matthew Johnson. He directed the Blackberry movie, I believe so. Right? He's the director of the Blackberry. Let me double check. Matthew Johnson. Yeah, which is a great one of the better recent corporate biopic kind of movies. The Blackberry movie, kind of like the. It's not really like the rise of Black. Well, it is the rise of BlackBerry, but it's not like the origin so much of it. It's more just like rise of BlackBerry and then how iPhone came in and ruined it all. But it's a great movie. And so the success of that movie, they let him make Nirvana, the band, the movie, the show. It's good stuff. I highly recommend it. Really not much more I can say because I don't want to ruin too much about it, but it was good. And I'd recommend to you. It's on streaming, not streaming. It's available for rent. I think if you're as big of Back to the Future fan as me, you should just watch it and enjoy it because it's a ton of fun. Ton of fun. All right, PJ through 4109 sending some love. Thank you so much. Give me Star Fox McCloud TV show or a movie in the animation they told his backstory. That was some beautiful animation. It'd be nice to get a movie, but man, you know how hard it would be to get a studio to actually make a movie like that. I mean, look what they're doing to Avatar: The Last Airbender and how that went to streaming. Illumination would never. Hi, is it possible you could talk about the Girls Like Girls, the movie? It's a movie made by Hayao who is a singer, and it comes out June 19th. Girls Like Girls movie. I mean, I boy who like girls. Just complications arise when Coley, the new girl in town, falls for Sonia, a teen who has a boyfriend. Oh, feels like a Netflix thing. feels like a kissing booth kind movie. Feels like no Centennial's gonna pop up and be like, girls, how about you kiss me? Oh no, we don't like that. Um, looks like it's based off a book. Well, or that's just a cover. Hey, it's there for who's interested, man. I'm definitely judging it before I see it, but I hope it's good. I hope it's good. If it's that good, I'll check it out. We've yet to get a comic accurate Joker on screen, cuz directors want to be unique. The Batman Joker is a huge miss. The Joker isn't 5'7" with bad acne. I mean, we still haven't fully seen what they've gone for, right? And with that Joker from the Batman, um let's see here. We got it. That was also just a deleted scene. They could go a completely different route. Matt Reeves has the opportunity, because it's a deleted scene, to not go with this version of the Joker and switch it up. I think there's elements of it that do seem interesting that I don't mind. I don't mind all the scars and craziness of his face, especially if that's like from his battle with Batman. Like that'd be crazy, because I mean he's in jail, so Batman definitely stopped him. I'm curious to see it through, and I want to know what Matt Reeves does. And I do think Joker will be part of the story, but he's not going to be a large character. He'll probably just get released by the end of this movie, and then we got Joker for the third movie, right? Because you can't have a new Batman trilogy without making the Joker the villain at some point. And so maybe that's what they'll build up to. I'm still willing to see it play through. Uh, but I don't mind a short Joker. Joker's not really much about the stature. I mean, sure, I'd like a lanky, skinny Joker, kind of like in the Arkham games, but I don't mind it. Hi, Chris. Would you want to review my first film? It's a 1980s style action film called Skills for Cheats, and a 10-minute demo on it coming May 6th. You can email me, buddy, and I'll delete the email if I'm being honest with you. But maybe I won't, so there's always the chance. Gonna watch the Michael B. Jordan animated movie. You know what? I haven't even really seen the trailer for it, but it does not look like my cup of tea. But hopefully it's good. What is it? The Netflix animated movie? What's it called? Where is it? What's it? Swapped? I don't know. That Netflix knew what they were doing by starting it like this with Michael B. Jordan, especially after he just won his Oscar. Um, I don't know. It's not speaking to me from the little bit that I've seen of it. But I mean, I've judged some animated movies by the look of them before, and they ended up surprising me. I really not too crazy excited for it, but I hope it's good. I hope it's good. I do tend to watch more of the Netflix animated stuff every now and then, but sometimes it's just eh. Like what was the last one we like? I really like that Adam Sandler lizard movie. Where what was he, a chameleon or a lizard? It wasn't great, but it was pretty good. I liked it. He like goes around and helps the class uh get over their stuff. I thought that one was a good one. Of course, like Claws. I was not a big fan of that most recent one about the kids on an island. What was that one called? Well, let me look it up. That one kind of was like, eh. Netflix movies, Netflix animated movies. It's like some movie about some kids on an island. I know that was Leo, the one I was talking about. That was a good one. Sea Beast was also good. I did like Sea Beast. Sea Beast was great. Original Nimona was awesome. Was Nimona a Netflix original? K-pop is obviously awesome. Elio Animal Crackers. Spellbound? Was it Spellbound? No, that's a different one. Oh, Orion the Dark also. I wanted to like this one. I really couldn't get into Orion in the Dark. It kind of lost me halfway through. It had a interesting premise, but it lost me halfway through. There was another one again. Maybe it was a Christmas movie. It was like a bunch of kids that are like kind of just stuck for winter. I forget what it was. Some of them were waiting for like their parents to come, and like A little kid goes missing and they go out looking for him. What was that one? The Epstein movie? No. Not The Forgotten Island. That hasn't even come out yet. That Christmas? Was that one? It's an anime. Was it this one? I think it might have been. Yeah. This one, right? That was a Netflix one. I remember that one was being iffy. I was like, can this one just end already? I think you're right. There we go. Sorry. Jesus loves you. Oh yeah, well, Good Friday to those who celebrate. Good Friday to you, my friend. Victoria Bev. All right. Ever bringing back live spoiler talks? Oh yeah, for movies that deserve it. I don't think Super Mario unfortunately deserved that much. There is some like cool moments and things we could speculate on, but I think I said all. If I could say everything I needed to with just the spoiler review, probably not. But yeah, I'll do the lives for movies that warrant it. I can't imagine what's the next one. It'll probably be Spider-Man Brand New Day. What's SMG? SMG, what's SMG? You'll tell me what SMG is. But yeah. Bro said Miles was the first Hispanic Spider-Man. Spider 29 is half Mexican, half Irish. Came out in the 90s. Unc rage baited me into sending him a super chat for this. Oh, you know what? And I never even really recognized Miguel O'Hara as Mex. That's so funny because he even looks more Hispanic than that. But you know what? That was also because for the longest time I thought Spider-Man 2099 and Spider-Man Unlimited were the same thing. So it really wasn't until like not even I wouldn't say the Spider-Verse movie. I eventually caught on, but I honestly thought Spider-Man 2099 and this version of Spider-Man were the same thing growing up. I was like, oh, they gave him a show. I guess that's what he's like. If you guys don't know, this is like a version of I don't even know if he goes to the future or it's an alternate timeline or weird thing, but it's a Spider-Man show where like he goes to yeah, it's like this alternate timeline where like there's animals that are people and Carnage is there and Venom. It was just a weird thing. For the longest time, that's what I thought Spider-Man 2099 was, just because of the future elements. But you're right. My bad. I'm sorry, dude. I'm sorry, RB. Um, you got a FNAF thing, so let's just. Oh, Super Mario Galaxy. Okay, thank you, Reed. Hey Chris, I love your videos. Me and my friends are making a horror film. Could you please give us a shout out? The film name is Skinwalker Threshold. Skinwalker Threshold. Coming to a YouTube video near you. Did you see the makeup test for Winnie the Pooh 3? Yeah, we just talked about them. Looking ravish. Would you talk about Kamen Rider at some point? Today's the franchise's 55th anniversary, and it would be great to see someone like you talk about it. Shin KR, to example, for love from Brazil. Kamen Rider. What is that? Kamen Rider. Orale. Oh, is this what like Power Rangers is based on, or is this just another Power Rangers? Is this like the thing? He looks dope. He looks cool. Kamen Rider explained. Let me see if they could. Yeah. Kamen Rider is a long-running Japanese franchise created by, featuring helmeted motorcycle riding. Oh, motorcycle riding. Oh no, that gets my testosterone going. Who battle monsters, typically utilizing bug-themed armor and a Hanish transformer belt. The heroes often cyborg and technology enhanced humans fight for justice, humanity, and freedom. Okay. Okay, Kamen Rider. The reason I brought up Power Rangers, not just because similarities, but didn't like the Power Rangers take like the fight scene moments from a show and then implement them, right? Is that not this one? Is it a different one? I mean, it sounds cool. You bring that to Western audiences, you're gonna get idiots like me going, "Isn't that the Power Rangers? Why didn't they just do Power Rangers then? What did this?" That sounds cool. This would definitely be like a cool reimagining because, like, dude, that's just awesome. Dude, just guys in motorcycles who are superheroes that fight bug monsters. That's probably a cool way to do that. But yeah, Kamen Rider. Unk did not know elite ball knowledge. Super Sentai, that's the show. Thank you. Super Sentai was the show that Power Rangers took from. There we go. Sorry. Unk only knew about Super Hentai. Perfect super chat next. Hey Chris, did you see the Masters of the Universe will have a Denny's food collab along with other professional tie-ins? Oh, that means I gotta wear my He-Man leather straps to Denny's. And they're not even gonna flinch because Denny sees 10 weirdos a day there. Let me look this up. Verse Den. All right, Masters of the Universe Denny's collab. What's this gonna look like? Oh, dude, I'm gonna be in Denny's holding a pancake, going, "I have the power." Sir, you need to quiet down. There's an elderly man behind you. He hasn't moved for 30 minutes, but we still don't want to disrupt him. Okay, we got the He-Man Eternia Slams. Oh my god, they're just gonna dump a chunk of mint ice cream on my pancakes made by a woman who chain smokes. That's gonna be yummy. They're gonna stab my burger and call it a collab. The He-Man Battle Burger? Okay. What is it? The He-Man Battle Burger. This is what it is? Ooh. The Skeletor Dark We got Skeletor gooning and shakes and handing them to me. Junior Gray Skull Epic. Oh man. That's crazy. That's crazy. Are there other food collabs? Masters of the Universe food collab. Is there another one up and coming? Is there a Burger King one up and coming? Or is that like the old one? It's just still this Denny's one. Hey, that's still fun. I mean, if I can find a relatively easy He-Man outfit to make, why not? Sure. I'll just get the mint ice cream thing. At least that's colorful. All right. Familiar with Desperate Housewives, plus you should watch High Potential. It's really good. I mean, the few episodes I stop and watch with her are fine. It's not really a show that I want to get super into, but yeah, I see why she likes it. Remember comic book news. The downfall needs to be studied. I used to go there for all League Comic Con trailers. Yeah, I do remember. I still check on them from time to time, but yeah, I've gone to them less and less. I used to go to websites more than Twitter, but Twitter just be having all the news now. Was it me or did Chucky Doll just blink? Hey, don't do that. Cut it out. Rank TikTok edits for a video idea. I mean, that's going to be hard because there's usually copyrighted music used in those. Hi 3C, what if they made a Doomslayer movie? Then Feige's got to go. What if they did it? Any news on Winnie the Pooh Blood 93? Yeah, we just talked about looking at the designs and my possible cameo if I can get a reach back from them. That would be a good vlog too. Just vlogging that experience for you guys, showing you all that. Interactions you want to see in a Secret Wars the NOS. The biggest one is Toby and Hugh Jackman, but that might happen in Doomsday if what we hearing is true. So I guess Toby Ghost Rider would be fun. I mean, I still want Tom Holland in Deadpool. That'd be a lot of fun. Deadpool with who else would be? I'm trying to think of like who else would be like a crazy collab that I would want to see. The old Fantastic Four with the new Fantastic Four. That'd be fun from like the Jessica Alba era with the now era. Yeah, those would be some of the ones. Thank you for Avatar news, Papa 3. No, thank you. Thank you. What's your April and May to watch movies? I begin to go out and be social. Went to Boston Anime Con today, though I didn't talk with anyone. Spent 227. Oh man. That's a moolah. Hope you got some good stuff. Let's see. April, let's see what movies are coming out. That'd be a good thing. April movies wiki. So let's see. April. Oh, okay. I thought we were gonna have April movies. Wikipedia. Whatever. We will fix it. Okay. Let's just look movies then. Wikipedia. Let's do. So we're in 2026. Okay, let's go to April. So we're in March, we're April. Okay, so we just had okay, so the movies. I mean, I know I already did Super Mario. I am gonna watch the drama. I don't know if it's gonna get a review, but if I've seen it, I'll mention it on the channel, and we'll talk about it on this on stream. I might watch Pizza Movie tonight just to see what the madness is with that. The I'm Good Bro movie. Let's see here. From there, Thrash Beast, Faces of Death. I guess because I just don't know much about the history with the original Faces of Death. It's supposed to be a movie that like was controversial at the time because I think it used real death scenes as part of the movie, and that was like the whole like ooh crazy. But man, I'm just not getting a good vibe, like an interesting vibe from watching this new one. I'll have to check it out because it's a horror movie at the end of the day, but interest in it is not really that high. Not really that high. But look, someone in the chat right now saying Face of Death looks super interesting in my honest opinion. Well, yeah, cool. It is gonna one I'm checking out though. The Yeti. Well, that's interesting. They got a Yeti horror movie coming out. High stakes balls. Oh, Lee Cronin's The Mummy. I already got my press invite for that, so I'll definitely watching it. I know we've had bad test screens, all that, but honestly, every trailer has got me more intrigued to want to watch it. And I do want to know their explanation for how this little girl got mummified and then got saved. We got Mother Mary. That's psychological drama. And they were roommates. Oh, isn't that Adam Sandler's kid? I think that's Adam Sandler's kid. All right. Normal seems a little interesting. That's with Bob Odenkirk. It honestly looks a little bit like the movies he makes Nobody, except he's just not as skilled. He's just a regular detective. But sometimes I like a regular cop. Sometimes I like those like simple guy versus like a whole cartel type of movies. They can be fun. Brothers in the Fire. Okay, obviously Michael will be a big one. I got to work on my Michael Jackson dance moves for that video. Apex, have not heard of that one. Oh yes, okay. This is another one watching for sure. This one got a lot of buzz coming out of film festivals. It's also directed by Yorma Tacone, which I do really like him. He's one of the members of the Lonely Island. His movies aren't always the best though. He also did MacGruber, which I know it's not I like MacGruber, but admittedly it's not the best. I still think Akiva Schaffer is probably the more successful, only other than Andy Samberg. But when it comes to directing and writing, but I hear a lot of great things about this. It's supposed to be a really good movie. It's Samara Weaving and I forget his name. Is it right there? Jason Segel. They're supposed to play husband and wife. They go to a place to vacation, but they're both there to kill each other, and neither of them knows it that they're planning that. It's supposed to be good. Devil Wears Prada 2. I gotta tell you, I recently saw for the first time Devil Wears Prada. Wasn't impressed. I was expecting a lot more. That's one of those movies you always hear about, everyone talks about or references, and it's like, oh, you gotta watch it. And with the second movie coming out, I was like, well, I guess let's watch it, honey. It wasn't bad, but I was just like, I wasn't as into it as I wanted it to be, or the way some people talked it up like it was this big old master. I just thought it was aight. I thought it was aight. So I don't know what to expect from Devil Wears Prada 2, but I'm gonna watch it, right? I don't know if I want to watch Animal Farm. It is also an Angel Studio movie. I don't watch many of theirs. Swapped, that'll probably be just watch at home, right? Because it's Netflix, of course, but not huge interest in it. Deep Water, kind of interested. It is a shark movie, and it is and is directed by Rennie Harlan. Admittedly, hasn't done great stuff right lately, but he did do my personal favorite shark movie, Deep Blue Sea. He's doing another shark movie. Let's see if he's got some of that Deep Blue Sea energy in him. So I kind of want to watch that. Hokum, yes, just with all the horror buzz and the creepy imagery from the trailer, want to see it. Plus, I like Adam Scott. I think he's a fun actor or just an enjoyable actor. So yeah, one spoon of chocolate. What the heck? Mortal Kombat 2, that'll be in May. You did ask for the May movies too, right? Yeah, May. Mortal Kombat 2. I don't know what the heck this is, man. This is a movie with Hugh Jackman with sheeps, and Hugh Jackman dies, and the sheeps have to solve the murder. It could be the best thing ever or the worst thing I've ever seen. So we'll see. Let's see what we got. Takeover. I don't know. Some of these I haven't heard. That's that Guy Ritchie movie I was talking. In the Gray. Guy Ritchie just be busting out these action movies your dad loves to rent. Oh, Obsession. Can't forget Obsession. High on my list. Really want to see it. Heard great things about it. Again, it's just about a guy who makes a wish that the girl he likes, who doesn't like him, likes him. Wish works, and now she crazy, and bloody stuff goes on. It's also directed by Curry Barker, who's actually a fan of my channel. Way more talented than I'll ever be, but he does skits on TikTok and YouTube. Their channel is called That's a Bad Idea. They do really funny, well-produced skits. So I can't wait to see that. It looks good. Is God it? Oh, dude, I saw the trailer for this and I'm like, what is this? It's like twin sisters. One of them has a burnt face and they have to find their dad who burned them when they were kids. Huh? I don't know. Not for me. Magic Hour, Forge, Jack Ryan movie. No, thank you. Mandalorian and Grogu. Yeah, gonna have to check that out. Passenger. Oh yeah, there's a lot of hype around this one. Creepy trailers for Passenger. That was a creepy. It's like a trailer that's only been playing in theaters. They have not released this trailer online. It's only in theaters. But a creepy trailer. I Love Boosters, the new Riley Boots movie, Boots Riley movie. Okay, here's another one too. I actually like Nate Bargatze. I think his stand-up is actually pretty funny. He's one of those comedians that actually has broken the wall in comedians who don't do much profanity, swearing, or sexual stuff, but they are actually really funny. And that is hard to do. It is hard to be a stand-up comic who's actually funny without leaning into the easy grotesque stuff. I mean, you see me do it all the time, right? I can't even do it without getting a little poopy joke in there every now and then. I think he's great. This movie looks abysmal. This movie does not look great. It just looks so generic. It looks like this movie should have came out 30 years ago, dude. A movie where just the dad who takes care of his kids, but hijinks ensues. I feel like we could have done something better. I feel like we could have done a little something better. I hope it's good, and I hope I'm proven wrong. But man, when I see these trailers, I'm like, that's gonna be such a slog to get through. It does not look that good. But I like Nate Bargatze. I like Nate Bargatze. Oh, good. What did that? F toys. All right, and that's where we end there. So yeah, those are some of the movies I'm looking forward to. Imagine a man, and see, like that's what it is too. That's the whole premise. Is what if a man actually took care of his kids? Huh? Like, aren't we kind of past that? Like, is that really that interesting now? Like, sure, that's like a funny concept in the 90s or 80s when it still was looked at as like, well, men make the money, women stay at home with their kids. And it's just like the whole joke is like, how does a dishwasher work? Man, my wife's life sure actually is hard. Come on, man. You better than that. You better than that. But hopefully it's good. Hopefully it's good. Your thoughts on physical media world? Oh, I love it. It is sad that it's dwindling and dying down, which it just is. But also take a look at vinyl records. Vinyl records sell now almost as much as when they were popular or when they were invented or whatever. Vinyl records get sold so much more now because there is an audience of people who listen to vinyl. I went through my little vinyl record phase and then I scratched one record and it wouldn't play good. And I said, I'm not buying this anymore. It was a cool thing to do. I remember I had my vinyls and I put a little Kanye on and I would like, beep, beep, beep. Who got you? Who got you? But it is also a matter of space. I've gotten to that point now where space is just crucial and vital to me. And I also want to set a good example to my kid and not hoard too much stuff. Like the Funko Pops, it was fun while it lasted and it was enjoyable. But I'm glad my son is not going to see that of me and see that room filled with stuff because I would hate to pass on the burden of over collecting, over consuming just for the sake of doing it. With that said, I'm starting a new physical media obsession. I have no idea why. This just kicked into me, and I am now like more excited than ever, and it's gonna be fun. And hopefully, I don't give up on it after a week. But it's all I've been thinking about lately. I've gotten so nostalgic. Oh, I have it downstairs. I don't have it. I got my VHS. Someone just said in the chat, and there's people who collect VHSs, and I think that's awesome. Like the VHS people, they should make. I just read that. They should make 4K VHSs? Huh. Okay. Yeah. um I have a small collection of actual like DVDs and 4Ks. I like steel books. That's always what gets me. And I just purchased it's downstairs. That's why I was like, oh dang, I'd have to run down and get it. But I just got my Leprechaun 4K. I mean 4K. Well, I did also get that. I got the Leprechaun 4K, but they had the Leprechaun VHS that Lionsgate put out, which is kind of cool that Lionsgate does that. So I got this. I have it downstairs right now, sealed. And Warwick Davis is coming to Texas for Texas Frightmares. I'm thinking I'm gonna get him to sign this. I'm not gonna spend too much time at Texas Frightmares, but if I can go there just to get Warwick Davis to sign my VHS copy of Leprechaun, I will do it. And even the VHS tape itself is green. It's so cool. And then that's the 4K. And, oh yeah, here's somebody unboxing it. Let's see if we can watch it real quick. Yeah. So I have this downstairs right now. I really want to get Warwick Davis to sign my VHS. That's just cool that they do it. And I don't even own a VHS player, if I'm being honest with you. But I just had to have it. I love the Leprechaun movie so much. And that series, as stupid as it is, it's cool VHS tape. So I just got that. And they just had pre-orders set up for what was it called? Scream 4. They just went up, and Scream 4, as you guys know, is my favorite Scream sequel. And the tape is gonna be white. Oh, this guy's so cool. It's so awesome. So that's cool. I hope Lionsgate keeps that up, and I also pre-ordered the 4K of it. Anyways, that wasn't the thing I was saying I was getting excited about. I don't know why. Your boy recently got nostalgic for his Game Boy Advance days. So random. I got nostalgic for the Game Boy Advance. I had the purple one, but it was the SP I would play on the most. And I decided I'm just gonna go back into it. And so I bought a Game Boy Advance. And now I'm gonna go to like my local retro store and pick up some old games and just go back into it. And I don't know why. It's like the most excited I've been to do something in a while. I guess I'm just at that old man, that unk point where I'm nostalgic for old dumb things. I spent so much time playing this stuff and some games I never finished and things I didn't get to do. And so I'm like excited. That's my new physical media thing right now. And I even want to get them in the boxes. I want to find ones that have the box still there and have a little shelf of my box. Um and I told myself if I stick to this, I'm gonna bite the bullet, and I've been thinking about this for years. I'm getting myself a Nintendo DS, 3DS, because I used to have a DS, but I never got the 3DS. That's when I started growing. Well, I had a PSP by then, and I was like, "Oh, screw the Nintendo DS. I like my PSP." So I'm in my retro gaming era. where I want to go back to my old handheld stuff. uh, just thought I'd throw that out there. So let me know your favorite Game Boy Advance games because I want to go through some. That isn't Pokemon. I didn't mind Pokemon, but I liked some of the other stuff. I didn't have a 3DS. Yeah, no, people are saying you didn't have a 3DS. No, but that's because your boy had everything else. I had the let's see, I had the Nintendo. I had the DS. I had the gray one. This one. I was there for when these came out, and this was like a Christmas present. I love this thing. That was awesome. And then I got the Lite eventually, so I got the Nintendo DS Lite. And then the 3DS came out. When did the 3DS came out? Nintendo 3DS. Because I don't know how old I was. Nintendo 3DS came out 2011. Oh wow. So I was 2 years from graduating high school. So I was already like my sophomore junior year. Yeah, no, I wasn't thinking about video games. I was thinking about other things. Hey Lisa. uh but I mean, you're never too old. You could be 18 and play that. But at that point I just wasn't so much. Someone said, "Okay, nerd." Uh Twist, Lisa was his teacher. Hey. All right. Let's see here. Your thoughts on physical media. Okay, that's what I just talked about. No, but I love it. I love that people have that, and I'm envious all the time of the people who have giant movie collections. I just admittedly am the person that if I want to watch a movie, it's easier for me to kind of just rent it online. And I know people say, well, you don't get the full best experience. I have a big enough projector thing going on where it's as good quality as I want it to be. And I know it could be slightly better, but that slight bump doesn't mean all that much to me. It does when I go to the theater, and if I can go from IMAX to a regular screen or a premium screen, that's where I want the more experience. But I mean, just rewatching Endgame on my projector I have here at home, that's good enough for me. From on Disney Plus, where it's supposedly in Atmos, I believe it enough. But there is a certain amount of movies that like I'll own. And honestly, I'm thinking probably with my kid, I want to do the thing where I go to like there's local DVD shops. There's like a thing called Movie Trading Company around here in Dallas. I don't know what it's called for you guys, but it's just like a place. It's like a old Blockbuster kind of like, but it's not really renting movies. You buy them, but it's just rows and rows of Blu-rays and 4Ks. And so I think I'll do that with him. It's like take him there and now I'll just have him pick stuff based on the cover. Obviously, if it's family friendly, and just let him have that experience of physically picking something up, looking at the cover, and then taking it home to experience it, you know? Chris, you missed my Mario Galaxy review. I posted right at the beginning. Pay to. Oh my goodness. Let me see here. Let's see. Viewer activity has dad live. This and that. Real world thoughts on mid movie you should watch. This and that. Big fan of your videos. Did you hear Mario Galaxy? I'm looking for it, buddy. I'm looking for it. Let's see. Cam Dice. Chris, we always talk about movies, but legitimately interested in what music. Let's see, there's that. Crazy week for TV. You sent in a lot of super chats, Cam Dice. Let me see here. What happened to Daniel's project? Truly don't see it, Cam. I'm going through all your history here and don't see it. I'll take a look at it, buddy. But I mean, if your review, what you like it, you didn't like it, good or no? I'll take that as a yes, Cam. All right, now I lost my place. 1 second. Uh, the guy who made Portrait of God is now set to direct the new Blair Witch remake. You should definitely check it out. Oh, okay, cool. Well, I'll have to check out the short now. Man, I want to really be excited for a new Blair Witch movie. I was at a family party like 2, 3 weeks ago, and for some reason, On the TV, on streaming, they had put on the Blair Witch reboot or remake that they made. I guess it's a reboot. Back in like 2000, what was it, like 18, 19, something like that? Dude, that movie fumbled the bag so bad. It did not understand what made Blair Witch scary, frightening. It was a snooze fest. I remember watching that in the theater just being so bored. And the marketing of it was so cool. If you guys don't remember, the marketing for that, it was originally a movie just called The Woods. And then randomly one day during the trailer played and it changed the name from The Woods to The Blair Witch. And we were like, oh, a secret Blair Witch movie. And then it just did not live up. It was just not as good. Just like this is like one of the worst versions of found footage too, because it's just a movie that makes your head hurt. You're like, oh my god, the camera's just shaking. All right, let's see here. All right. Thoughts on Anna Camp saying she had to straight up write her own script for Scream 7 that revealed like such an afterthought, still mad. Yeah, I mean, it's crazy that she was just willing to admit how bad the writing or how, underdeveloped the writing is, but we shouldn't be that surprised when I mean, those writers were on a time crunch. They had a script, they had an idea that they spent probably a good year or two on. Then they fired Melissa Barrera. They had to change directions and quickly write a new script right away. It's no wonder it feels sloppy and messy for a Scream movie, you know? Uh Joey Carroll, I see your super chat and I love you, buddy. It's just a spoiler for the new Mario movie, and I'd rather just not say it. But could be anybody. Could be anybody. Hey Chris, had you ever seen any analog horror series? If so, which one? Will you want to see it into a full movie? Backrooms don't count because, of course, the film is getting released. I'll be honest with you, it's rare that I find an analog horror thing online that actually makes me want to watch and sit through it. I like what Kane Parsons did with like some of the background. I watched this first one and it was good in terms of just creating an atmosphere. But man, maybe I just didn't have the patience or the interest to sit through many more of just the buzzing sound and all that stuff. It's cool that there's a piece together story and little bits that they were thrown in there. And that's why I'm curious how the movie's going to play it out together. But analog horror to me is sometimes more intriguing or interesting in its concept and the lore that they built out. But to sit down and watch a lot of those puzzles, it just doesn't get to me as much. But I definitely see why to some people they really like it. But like analog horror, I liken it more to like the reason I just wasn't into Skinamarink. You know, that's the kind of analog horror some people really like, and to me, it's just like not so much for me. But I understand why people are into it. Thoughts on new Supergirl trailer? I thought it was great, but now I'm confused on how involved Lobo is to the story. Yeah, I thought Lobo was going to be like a bounty hunter hunting down Supergirl. Well, now it looks like they just happen to meet and they work together for a bit and then they go separate ways. Interesting. 3C lore, how cool were you in high school? No, I wasn't the cool cat. I was not part of the cool group. To me, the cool group, at least from my perspective, I could be completely off, but to me, the cool group were like the preppy kids. It was the kids who were like, there was like these subsection of preppy kids who were like in band and theater, and they were in all the school events. They would go out to all the football games and things like that. To me, that's what I thought like were the top cool kids, the involved kids, the ones who were smart and had a good social life. Um, I was just in the middle. I was just the guy who knew everybody. I had my own little friend group of 3 or 4 people. We'd always hang out, but I was always kind to everybody. I knew some of the preppies, I knew some of the goths, I knew some of the cholos and all that. I had friends in different groups, and I was never much excluded. But I wouldn't call myself one of the cooler groups. But I don't think I was a loser. I wouldn't be the guy where it's like, Chris. They wouldn't be like, oh, that loser. They'd be like, oh yeah, Chris. He seems chill. That's probably how they describe me. He seems chill. Do you think first trailer for Avengers Doomsday will be attached to Spider-Man? Yeah, I definitely think that's when they'll do it. I mean, it just makes the most sense. That's a good enough close window because at that point you're about the 6-month mark, and if they actually want to have the big marketing campaign, that'd be the good place to start. Do we really see Illuma cuss in the Galaxy movie? I mean, he doesn't actually cuss, but the way it's said and edited voice wise, it feels like it hears. There's a reason so many of us are watching that scene, and I remember being in the theater hearing that, and I was like, did I just hear him say the F word? Like it's just weird, but it doesn't actually say it, but it sounds like he said it. Favorite trailer of all time, Infinity War for me. That was a good one. Run from it. Destiny still arrives. Um, what was another what's a great trailer I would always play? Endgame was good, but I think Infinity War is probably up there. The first Avengers was pretty good too. Just the way they would tease that. I just remember being like, come on, come on, come on. Where is it? Where is it? Dude, Godzilla 2014 trailer was pretty good. I remember that one, dude. Civil War. Yeah, I've seen Spider-Man in there. The Batman, dude. Yes, the Batman is a great one because, dude, all the naysayers, all the Robert Pattinson haters, shut up after that trailer, dude. When he just pummels the guy and goes, vengeance. Oh, dude, everybody's like, peak cinema. Um, I know some people throwing in No Way Home in there. Look, I love No Way Home. Every part of that marketing was so iffy with that movie. Down, no good posters. Cars 3's trailer was crazy. McQueen is fading. Um, Jurassic World trailer got me hyped. Dark Knight was good. Good stuff in there. After Michael movie, will they announce a Prince, Kurt Cobain, and George Michael biopic? They could. Kurt Cobain would be interesting, but it's just it wouldn't hit on the same level. Like Michael is other than maybe the Beatles. I'm not a big Beatles guy, but I understand that movie is probably going to do well with the four-way release too. I'm curious how that goes. But Michael is the biopic. It's not so much, oh, now we make him cuz Michael. Biopics are tough, dude. You kind of got to space them out cuz they're a genre that's always going to exist. Cuz every day we have a new pop star. We have a new person. I mean, right now we have a Taylor Swift, we have what other people? I mean, Kanye, we have all these like celebrities that are living right now that in 10, 20, maybe 30 years are going to get their own biopic. There's going to be a Taylor Swift biopic. There's going to be a Kanye West one. There's going to be, I'm trying to think of who else right now. Freaking, who's like popular right now that some people like. But I'm like, it's just a genre that'll never die because we'll always want to see stories of these artists. The problem is, it's just interesting how, even though it's real life, how formulaic their lives are. How they go from nothing, nowhere, they're poor, they're broke, and then they get their big break, they get the fame, they're popular, they're known, they're loved, and something happens where they lose their way. They either, get controversial and ruin their image like Kanye. They either end up doing drugs and overdosing, they end up getting shot or killed and die young. And it's like we've seen so many variations of it now, it just doesn't feel as unique and boring. So it's not so much that the Michael movie will spawn more. It's just like the Michael movie will show, okay, right now is there life in it? Okay, make two more, but then that's it. Because you got to give space in between. If it's just biopic after biopic after biopic, you will get that fatigue. Yeah, Beyonce for sure. I'd love a Linkin Park movie. That's one. Probably The Weeknd could get one. Sometimes there's also maybe some celebrities that were famous, but they had honestly just boring lives. They could have been like, oh, my dad was a rich dentist and paid for my music time, and I got famous. So I didn't have the hard knock life, but man, valet scratched my car one time, and that pissed me off. All-time favorite super suit from any Marvel DC project. I mean, Spider-Man, the Sam Raimi Spider-Man suit, I think will always be my favorite. Just what a great modernization, such a beautiful looking suit. I love that one. Right now I need to see it in action, but man, that Cyclops, James Marsden, Avengers Doomsday suit. Oh, hold on. That could be cool. The Blue Beetle suit, also, what a great man. It really sucks that we might not see more Blue Beetle. They keep saying they're bringing him back and he'll do something, but I'm like, man, where he at though? Some people say Ben Affleck. I mean, I even just like the Michael Keaton suit. from the '89 movie, but I mean the limitations with the head and the movements. But it's gonna be the Spider-Man suit all day, every day for me, the Sam Raimi one. You should do deep dives into your favorite marketing campaigns for old movies, dude. Honestly, yes, because that's where my whole thing of like when I go out to do the merchandising collab thing videos, that's where that comes from. As a kid, I love seeing marketing campaigns. To me it was cool walking into Walmart and there was like a standee for Spider-Man, and seeing on TV there was a McDonald's collab, and I'm like, oh, it makes you feel like there's an event. So that's where that comes from, me wanting to make those videos. And so it would be cool to go back to see what were the big ones, because there are some movies that had huge marketing campaigns, like the Godzilla 20, what was it, the 2004 Godzilla movie. That one had a huge marketing campaign with a ton of merchandise out there. I mean, the original Spider-Man probably too. Shrek probably had an interest, like with the ketchup and all that. So it'd be cool to go back to see the big marketing campaigns, or even like the Cloverfield ones, as you were saying. Yeah, that like that had that kind of like interesting vibe to them. How do you rate the video game movies between Mario, Sonic, FNAF, Pokemon, Minecraft? Okay, if it's just movies as a whole, I you got to go Sonic on top right now. He's just, they're getting better and better each movie. They actually find a way to do an original idea while incorporating the video game stuff. They're leaning more into the video game things, and they're gradually introducing things at a good rate. Sonic is really on top. Then I guess I'll go Detective Pikachu. It is cool, the story they came out with. It just, that should not have been the first Pokemon movie. It should have been a movie about a kid trainer, whether it's an Ash or an original character living the life of the Pokemon. Uh then I'm gonna go Mario. I think that first Mario movie was good. Then I'll go Minecraft FNAF. I still enjoy the FNAF, don't get me wrong. Hey, but FNAF didn't have me no catchy sound bites of flint and steel. Oh, dude, it took forever to get that out of my vocabulary. And plus Minecraft actually made ton of money. And they also had like a respectful thing going on with a Techno Blade cameo. Well, not cameo, but the respect they did to that. Um, I like the VFX too, but FNAF has its own stride, and I think the third movie could be the perfect seal to really make the trilogy worth it. They need to nail this Springtrap movie, man. If they do it, then it won't be so bad. But man, if they don't nail this one, we're gonna look back and be like, "Man, that trilogy was booty." But if they get that right, they're gonna be like, yeah, we had some bumps in the road, but they nailed that third film." Hell yeah, do the poo. You are my favorite content creator. This is a big opportunity for you. It'd be a fun opportunity. It wouldn't lead to anything, but it'd be a fun. Hello, I am making a PG-13 animated movie about a group: three animals, a robot, a creature, and a talking egg, stopping the apocalypse from evil robot army. Any suggestions you have for the movie? Mm. Three animals, a robot, a creature, and a talking egg. Make the egg voiced by Donald Glover. Yoshi right there. I really don't know what to tell you, man. I need more context about this story. Stopping the apocalypse from an evil robot army. Don't give the robots red eyes. Get creative. Give them magenta. Are you ever gonna sell your? Yes, I need to. In fact, I finally got onto one of those Facebook groups of Funko sellers in Texas, and someone did put out like they buy collections, but I need to go through and separate the ones I want to keep and the ones I want to get rid of. I don't want to get rid of all of them, but there is a select few, only like one box full of Funko Pops I'd want to keep. It's probably like the Back to the Future ones, all the horror ones I have right here. Um, and a few select ones, but a good 80% of them will probably be bye-bye. Also, did you ever miss how big movies used to be marketed? Like Spider-Man 3 was everywhere in 2007. Also, big fan. I mean, I do miss it. I do wonder why, because, dude, just a good marketing campaign can make the difference. So that's why it surprises me that some movies don't do it as much. I do miss it. We get it sometimes. What's the hardest part of your job? Fans don't know. Um, Honestly, keeping the energy on screen on the daily. I remember when I had like a period where I would upload every day, and I wish I could go back to that. But man, sometimes there just isn't enough content, or I don't want to just make a video for the sake of making a video. I want it to matter, not matter, but yeah, of course matter. But I mean, make it worth your time. I don't just want to pump the algorithm for the sake of views. Um, I just keeping the energy and being funny and entertaining for each video. I would say there is a stress involved. Again, as a YouTuber, it feels like you're not allowed to complain, because I get it. There are way harder jobs out there, but I mean, I do stress about posting a video, and it's like, man, it's been 2 days. I haven't posted anything. I need to think of something, and I'll get into these gripey moods where like I'm just like grouchy all day. I'm just like, I haven't posted anything, and I just like, oh, I need to do something. Like, so just that stress a little bit of like I need something to, and it's not even because it's like, oh, money's low at this month. Am I gonna pay? It's never about that. It's like my fans need content. My fans they're gonna go away. They're gonna find some other YouTuber and they'll leave me. It's that made up stress, I guess, is more it. So and right now, as I'm dumping all that trauma dumping, this is what I read. Make it clap. Cool. Cool. Really loving Nolan's character arc. One of the best. Yeah, it's getting really good in Invincible. Have you seen Wreck-It Ralph movies? If so, it's so funny. They were just on TV the other day. Love the first Wreck-It Ralph. I think that one was awesome. It was a huge surprise. I remember when it was first coming out, I was like, okay, there's bad guys and all this. But it was just the way they were able to do the video game and the video game characters and crossover and such a nice story. Just because you're a bad guy doesn't mean you're a bad guy. And man, that scene where he like destroys her cart, heartbreaking, great. And it has a nice little twist too with what gets revealed. Second movie, fumble. Fumble. I don't know what they were thinking. It does not hold up well. It is not all that good. It's in a weird way, it's like a Mario movie, the Mario Galaxy movie, where it's just references and Easter eggs to internet things. Look at the eBay sign. We're in Disneyland. Look at all the princesses, Marvel character, Star Wars character. It did not hit the same in this storyline where she wants to join this random online racing game and all that. It just was not it, man. But the first one, amazing. Second one, it's let down for me. Will you be doing a review on the back? Oh, heck yeah. Of course. I'm gonna find a way to turn this studio into the back rooms. I'll do it. I'll find a way. What are two movies that are connected, but in your head, they're in the same universe? Oh, that aren't connected, but in my head, they're in the same universe. Um, let's see. What would be a good one? I mean, yeah, like Batman 89 and the Christopher Reeve Superman movies. Not really in the same universe, but I'd like to believe they're the Batman and Superman of their worlds, right? Same thing with like Incredible Hulk, Ghost Rider, Daredevil, Punisher, the Thomas Jane one, and Elektra Blade. They're all in that same world. They might never interact or hang out. They're all in that same world. Let me see. What other ones? I know some people want to be like the Amazing Spider-Man and the Venom movies. I just would have liked to have seen that Venom fight Spider-Man, but nah. Yeah, see right there, someone just said it. TASM in the Venom movies. Yeah, those are the kind of ones that come to mind. But yeah, throw in X-Men in there. I agree. Okay, yes. You missed my super chat. I posted it in 1 hour, I think. Was it the one we just read, buddy, about the animated movies? Yeah, we just read it. Missed my last super chat. Favorite movie food collab. Oh my goodness, what are all these super chats I'm missing? Is there something wrong with the system today? I'll keep looking for it. But favorite movie food collab. Oh man, my favorite food. Oh well, the Spider-Verse Whopper. I just like it when they actually put an effort. We were just looking at that He-Man Denny's collab. I need you to throw in some food coloring or some interesting design on it, even if it does nothing to the taste. Because in the end, the Spider-Verse Whopper that was red didn't add much of a taste, didn't add any taste, honestly. It just made the bun a little interesting texture-wise. But I need you to throw in a theme in there, right? To make it really stand out. And I hate ones where it's like it's a regular burger, but it's like, oh, but it's 3 patties and 2 cheeses. The Kong Burger. Okay. But favorite food collab, yeah, the Spider-Verse Whopper was one. I never ended up getting to try the SpongeBob one, but I thought that was a cool one. SpongeBob Burger King. Because they actually like did a little yellow square patty. I'm like, oh, that's fun. Um, let me see. Movie food collab. Oh, the Batman pizza would definitely be one because that's cool. They made a Batman pizza. Pizza in the shape of Batman. Uh it's probably gonna be the Spider-Verse Whopper, if I'm being honest with you. The Superman, what was it? Dairy Queen ice cream was pretty tasty too. That's what I'm going with. We'll see what they do in the future. Have you read Absolute Batman? If so, would you want to see it adapted? I've read I think 5 issues into Absolute Batman. I was really enjoying it. It just some one Wednesday I forgot to go to the comic shop. They sold out, and then I just lost touch. But yeah, I still have my Absolute Batman #1 nicely sealed. I even got the I think it was the foil one, all shiny. Yeah, it'd be cool. I don't know as far as like a movie, but like I like the idea of like an anime or an animation of it, almost hopefully Invincible style, but with more money into the animation. But that would be a cool way to adapt that. It's an interesting universe. It's not like my preferred parallel or take on Batman, but it's definitely a fun one where it's just every character on steroids. Hey, it just turned 30 last Thursday. How old are you? 31, but here you go, buddy. Good for you, my pal. Hey, Chris, out of curiosity, have you seen the movie Hoagie? I know it's become popular after Dead Meat saw the trailer, but it was a very low budget film and would definitely recommend fun time. Hoagie. I've never heard of Hoagie. Hoagie. I mean, I know that's what you call a sandwich. Hoagie movie. What the heck is Hoagie? Oh, I had an ex that looked like that. Oh my god, that was just a butt that flashed on screen. I gotta look into that later. Did you ever review One Piece live action? Love you see. Yes. Did I not put up on the Clips channel? I did do it in one of the most recent live streams. I did talk about the live action One Piece. I liked season 1, like season 2. It's good stuff. What do you think is gonna be the Dune 3 popcorn bucket? It'd be cool if they find a way to redo that bucket, but with like 3 snake heads or 2 snake heads, right? Sand heads, whatever, sandworms or whatever. But no idea what they go. They got to do something good though. They have to. I think the best biopics are about non-celebrity people, or at least people that aren't in entertainment industry. Scorsese is a great example with Goodfellas, Aviator, Wolf of Wall Street. Yeah, those sometimes are definitely it. There was one biopic, probably not as great, but I remember liking it. It starred, what's Owen Wilson's brother's name? Wilson brother. What was his name? Luke Wilson. He did a movie, and I believe it was about the first guy who invented how to do online transactions. And I found it to be a fascinating story. I'm trying to see what the actual name of it was. But it was a story about literally that, and it was about a little bit about the corn industry too, because that's mainly what it was used for, so that you can start purchasing corn online, but it was about the guy who discovered how you can do online payments. Was it Middlemen? I think it was this one, Middlemen. It says here, the businessman who wanders off the straight and narrow path when meets Wayne, a similar pair of internet profiteers. Jack's association with the men leads to his involvement with a host of other lowers. It was just an interesting story about like they figured out it's like how PayPal basically started, and it's just the way it changed the corn industry and being able to buy and use your credit cards online. It was just a fun. I like movies like that, figuring out like businesses. But you're right. There was also another one I liked, windshield wiper movie. It was about the guy who invented, yeah, Flash of Genius. It was about the guy who invented the automatic windshield wiper, and I think it was Ford or one of those big car companies stole his creation, and the whole movie is about the court case of him trying to prove that he was the inventor of the automatic windshield wiper. And again, you think that's kind of dumb, but I like the movie. It was an interesting watch. Yeah, I do like movies like that, just ordinary people and they have kind of stories like that. Dumb Money was good, yeah. And you know, a lot of people like was it is it actually called McFounder? Was it called McFounder? Or is it called just The Founder? It was just called The Founder. The Founder is good too, the McDonald's story. TASM 2 is still my favorite Spider-Man movie. Any 3C lore, seen it for the first time in 2014. I was 9 years old when I watched it for the first time. I remember, dude, I used to be so dead serious. Like, I would take going to the movie so seriously. So I remember when the first Amazing Spider-Man came out, and I was dating a girl in high school. And dude, when I go see a new Spider-Man in theater, it is a religious experience. And I'm not even being funny. I'm not being jokey. That is how important and big a Spider-Man movie is to me. And so I was dating this girl, and oh, dude, the first day I went to go see TASM, it just pissed me off. She showed up late, so we missed a lot of the trailers. And to me, I was already mad because it was at this point, you have to find seats. So we didn't have great seats. And we weren't too close, but we were closer than I wanted to be for the movie because I was just waiting for her to show up. And it's like a first date too. So it's like you don't want to get too mad and angsty. And she pulled out her phone a couple of times during the movie. That pissed me off. Uh I was so into it, really, like, it was just so big deal to me, and I just remember whole date ended, and I went home, and I'm like, "It's not gonna work out." She doesn't take watching a movie in theater seriously, it's not gonna work out. And it didn't work out. But it was like, to me, it was because of the way she acted when watching it. I'm like, "How does she not respectful?" It was like the equivalent of going to church and making noises while this pastor's giving a sermon, right? And I'm just like, I took it too seriously, but that's how it's always been now, and that's how it still is for me. It's my time. Hey Chris, do you prefer West Plano or Cut movie? Cut is nice because the Cut theater is literally 7 minutes from my house. So that's the theater I like going to. It's also quiet, it's peaceful. If you guys don't know what Cut is, Cinemark has it's like their version of a whatchamacallit, a dine-in theater. Here we go. I'll try to show you what they look like. They're nice. Good looking theaters. They have like a nice restaurant vibe inside too. This is the inside of what exactly it looks like. Such a great, nice vibe. I like going to it. But my favorite theater is West Plano. That one's it's more 30 minutes, 25 minutes away. But yeah, like the vibes are nice. Like you could have a drink in there and be like, oh, that movie, it messed me up. Oh, did you see the drama? Mario Galaxy. That fox, he's just so hot. It's nice. Here's a food collab idea: Mortal Kombat Waffle House. Well, because people be fighting in there. To get your waffle, you have to beat up the waitress. Test your might. I'll have the double stack and a side of grits. And I start doing the gut thing from Invincible to her. Finish her! Here's your tip. That'd be a good collab. Can I please get a waffle? Can I please? I love that video. You missed my super before you missed my super chat before this the stream began. Okay, let me go up. I go to the very one. First super chat says here is how's dad life been? For Alfred, Michael Tomsick. I don't know what it is. I really don't see one. Even on Michael Tomsick, I'm trying to go. Okay, what it says is when you the last super chat is which scooper do you find most reliable? We did talk about that. If you had another one, Michael, I don't see it. Oh, sorry, Mikey. I'll do something must have been off today with YouTube because I'm even looking at the YouTube history. And the first super chat, which is the one I talked about, says, how's dad life? I'm sorry, buddy. That's me doing that to your guts. Anyways, guys, that is the final super chat. That is where we're going to end and call things off for right now. My apologies to those super chats that I missed. Something must have been up with the software today. But I'm looking for them. I'll see that. I'll try and do better. I love your faces. You guys are fantastic. You're amazing. Thank you for being here. Hopefully you enjoyed the topics. This was a worthy stream. If not, hey, I still appreciate you being here and watching. Have a lovely time. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you. Adios.